SportG.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to SportG.
The show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions.
And now, here are your hosts.
Oh, look at that, 2 weeks in a row. It's like first time since March, probably. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
There he is.
I am the Iceman.
Oh, we got.
I didn't do a good enough NHL series. We had to bring Rich back.
Yep. The band's back together. Pretty pumped about it. And then we're going to start right out the box with we got a new Stanley Cup champion. And it's the Tampa Bay Lightning. Are you guys shocked?
Not really. I figured that, they'd been to the finals before. Yzerman built a solid foundation for them out there. I mean, to me, this is pretty much like, this reminds me of the Tampa Bay Raiders Super Bowl, meaning you had the Raiders making it to the Super Bowl with their former coaches' game plan. And then you had Tampa Bay making it to the Super Bowl with pretty much their former coach's game plan. I mean, let's be honest. Yzerman was there, a decade? Maybe even a little bit more? That's his groundwork that won them that cup. I mean, when they were passing the cup around, it was amazing how many people he drafted, he traded for, he wheeled and dealed to get there one way or the other.
Yeah, so, I'm not even close to surprised. You got Steven Stamkos. Just like you said, dude, Yzerman, I could sit here and name all the moves, but it's evident. And this is their fifth cup. Stunned, not at all.
Yeah, and they've only been around since, 92, 93? Is this franchise even 30 years old yet?
Yeah. 92, 93 was, I believe, their first season.
Because Tampa Bay Lightning starter jackets were the hot shit when I was in middle school. It's kind of where I had to nail it down. But I mean, I can tell you, as a resident of Detroit, I'm pretty pumped about it, knowing that our GM built that team.
Yeah, 5 cups. They don't have 5 cups. They have nowhere near 5 cups.
Yeah, maybe they've been to 5 cup
They've
finals.
won 2 Stanley Cups in 2004 and this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've been to 3. They've won 4 division championships, 1 President's Trophy, 3 conference championships. So,
and see, this is why it's good to have Rich back.
Yes, he will call you on your hockey misgivings.
Yes,
but no, Lightning have been knocking on that door for a while. I mean, they had to eventually go through it because that window is not going to be open forever. Period. End of story. I mean, and they've had a lot of fucking good players come through there that didn't win cups, or were shipped and then they won their cup in 2004, whatever. So to me, I'm with you, Chris. This is where, if you're a Detroit Red Wings hockey fan, you have to fucking let the process work with Yzerman.
Yeah,
this is all there is to it.
Let him do his thing. Yeah,
I definitely think it does work. It worked with him as a captain. It's worked with him as a GM. He's a proven fact.
Well, I mean, he put a team together. He's won 3 cups himself. He's won gold medals.
Yeah.
He put a team together that won a gold medal in the Olympics. He's put a team together, built a team that has had, 2 cups in 15, 16 years, and 10, 11 of them, he was there maybe 9. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. My point is that he knows how to build a winning team. So when he came here and he said, it's going to take a few years. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. There's no, unlike in other parts of our lives these days, there's no dog whistle there. You can take him at his word. It's going to take us a few years. Shit. The rumors coming out of Detroit right now is he's talking with Datsuk. He's looking to bring in a veteran goaltender. I mean, they just had a historically bad season. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they traded for a defenseman who's a better defenseman than the ones that they had to get rid of. They had plenty of cap room. Yeah, they got fucked in the draft, but that's because you got Fuckman over there who came from the NBA, and he has to do everything the NBA does in the NHL. And fuck the draft lottery. It's bullshit. I don't know how the fuck a team who's in the playoffs ends up with as high of a draft pick as they ended up because of the draft lottery. But it's completely indefensible, but that's beside the point. It is the way it is. You're not changing it. We've been over this. This is well-worn carpet, but new hockey fans don't even remember old hockey. It is so fucking foreign to them. They have no idea. They don't miss it. They don't pine away for it. I mean, you have Quebec Major Junior Hockey League going to Canada, asking for financial help. Rumor coming out of that situation is the government in Canada wants them to ban fighting if they're going to give them financial help. I mean, dude, this is what we've talked about for 4 years on this show. We just thought it would happen at a slower pace. That's it. This is in this world right now. If anybody can if they're going to give you a helping hand, they're going to get everything out of you that they want, if possible. Compromise is not on the table anymore.
Yeah.
You have a hockey league whose back's up against the wall, who's been around forever, who a lot of young players come through, begging the fucking country that their league is based in for help, and that country's going, yeah. Well, we need you to remove one of the core elements of your game. I mean, that's ridiculous to me, but that's where we're at. And yeah, there's not enough people that are going to do anything about it. So this is probably the beginning of it. This is probably the beginning of eventually 10 years, man. And it's probably going to be a lot sooner than that. There'll be no fighting. You will barely be allowed to check anybody. I don't even know what a clean hit is anymore. I really don't. I've watched YouTube videos of big hits, and I just look at all these, young hockey fans come in. They're like, man, that's a 15-game suspension right there. Dude,
that's like hitting a receiver, defenseless receiver. It's like, I'm with you, Rich, 100%. I don't know what's clean and what's dirty, but in short, Bo knows football, Yzerman knows hockey. Rich, one of the things that Chris and I answered last week, I want to get your opinion on this, on hockey and all sports. Did COVID affect it?
I mean, obviously it did because they had to play in that two-city bubble.
Right, but would you consider putting an asterisk? We decided an asterisk had to be put on the baseball season because they didn't even play, a third of it?
A little over a third. 37%.
So would you put an asterisk on the hockey, football, or not football, but basketball, hockey, and baseball on the season? The
baseball,
Stanley Cup champion is Tampa Bay. Does that carry an asterisk?
See, I don't think so because they didn't shut it down to what, middle of March? Mm-hmm. The playoffs start in April. So basically, they had to play in, unless you were like the Wings and you sucked so bad that you had no shot. They just go pack your shit, go home.
Was it the NHL we discussed? 22 teams got invited and the Wings weren't one of them? Or was it?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's like they did a play-in round. Everybody had a shot that deserved one supposedly. So, I mean, I'm a Wings fan. I can't defend the Wings being there because if it's a one-game elimination situation and they just happen to be playing, let's say they play the Lightning, and let's say Lightning have an off night. Bye-bye. What are the Wings going to do? Get swept in the first round? I mean,
the Wings were one of the winners of COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God it's over.
It mercifully put the season to an end.
Yeah.
Same thing with basketball. Basketball is a little bit later.
Yeah, they only missed 9 games.
Yeah, I mean, they had play-in rounds, so I wouldn't put asterisks on those. Baseball, yeah. I mean, there's been shortened seasons before, but not like this. This is basically just a doubled spring training.
Yeah.
And when you really think about it, spring training is like a month, 6 weeks long if you include the 2 weeks when pitchers and catchers report, but they're not playing full squad games. I mean, dude, this was 2 months worth of a baseball season.
Yeah, the season technically started, about like a month after the All-Star break would have been? Like, yeah, they essentially played the back half.
Pretty much.
And the NFL looks like they're going to be fine. I think unless something crazy happens, I think we're getting a full NFL season.
Well, I mean, we'll get to that because there's shit happening in the NFL as we talk.
Postpone.
But I would say there even has to be a asterisk on the college football season.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone's missing a month of games at least. What the Pac-12? They're only going to do 7. That's half a season.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's like Big Ten's looking at 8 games plus bowl games. I mean, how do you even rank people? I mean, to me, just go back to for this 1 year. Fuck it, no national. We'll do the national championship like we used to. We have the AP poll and the coaches poll. We'll do the rankings, 1 versus 2 in a bowl, 2 versus 3, or 3 versus 4 in a bowl, whatever, and then just have bowl games. Because that's what bowl games are for money, and that's all bullshit aside. That's the only fucking reason that there's college football going on right now. Because this is not, believe me, if a kid drops dead due to COVID, even if it's COVID aggravated an already pre-existing condition, we're going to hear howling and gnashing of teeth and crying like we've never heard towards football ever so far. And it's going to be the people who don't care about football. And I mean, dude, it's not like pros. Look, you come to work, you practice, you go home, you sit with your family, you do that for fucking 4 or 5 months, there's your football season. You're getting paid well to do it. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
These are college kids. There's 100 people on these fucking teams. Imagine all people behind the scenes.
And they're all between the age, well, at least the players are all between the ages of 18 and 23. So
exactly.
You know they're not going home and just hanging out. They're in college. They're trying to get a buzz and fuck something.
Exactly. So yeah, and NBA, NHL, I don't feel there's a need for an asterisk. I mean, in fact, there's no home ice advantage. I mean,
yeah, no,
there was
nobody's there.
There was no crowd. It's not like they were making noise when the team was, when the away team was on the power play, so they could barely communicate on the ice. It's not like the crowd was pumping them up and trying to get momentum going for the home team. I mean, to me, it seems like, first of all, the Stanley Cup's the hardest fucking championship to win, period. I mean, that's a fucking 2-month war. Every other day you're playing. And I mean, yeah, I understand there's some big men that play football, but they're not traveling on ice skates. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's guys out there who are 285 pounds, 6'6", slamming into a 5'10", 180-pound guy, and he's going into a fucking into the boards. Yeah, they have some give, but not that much. Yeah. Let a professional wrestler pick you up and drop you on the mat, and let's see how much shit you talk about it. Oh, those mats have give. Oh yeah, just enough for you don't break your back.
Yeah, still getting bruised up and broke.
I mean, we've all seen the injuries that happen in the wrestling ring. You land the wrong way, it don't have enough give to where it won't break your leg and give you a fucking knee in the middle of your shin. That
yeah, not just that, you tear your muscle off your fucking bone. Ask Triple H about it. How's your quad looking?
So I think it's a legit season because they got it. They got all but a handful of games in. I think they did it the best they could. I will say this. I think that all around sports are handling this shit as far as getting their product to the customers at home like garbage. I'm sorry. I'm not paying $100+ to watch the Stanley Cup playoffs.
What?
I'm not doing it.
What are they high?
And I mean, I'm not advocating this. I'm just saying, if you know where to look, there's usually streams, and you can watch almost anything you want sports-wise live on the internet. From what I understand, they were taking those streams down as quick as they could find them. And I'm like, this isn't the time to pinch pennies. This is the time when you have a captive audience literally sitting at home, going nuts.
I got nothing better to do.
People are in the street shooting each other over fucking property that's not theirs because they're so fucking bored. Give them something to fucking do and watch. Oh, and didn't we just fucking legalize nationally betting? And something to bet on. And to me, it was a perfect opportunity to put your sport, which is, let's be honest, it's a distant fourth in this country, America, in front of an audience that might actually fucking be into it. And they just didn't. It was the same old bullshit, same old money grab, same old can't have it for free.
The salad days of the 90s are over, NHL. All right? You sniffed number 3 for a minute there in the 90s. That shit is gone. You are number 4 by a very, very, very wide margin. NASCAR might even beat you.
I was going to say, I don't even think they're number 4.
I think it's regional.
People watching NASCAR just to see if there's another news.
I think it's regional. I think in the north you probably find more hockey fans in like hockey enclave cities, Minnesota, Maine, New England, Michigan, Wisconsin, the usual suspects. Believe it or not, North Dakota. But then you go down south and they're flooded with hockey teams, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Atlanta's tried twice. At this point, I say Atlanta, you're done trying NHL teams.
I was going to say, there's not many hockey teams in the South. You have the Dallas Stars and the Phoenix Coyotes.
Well, no, you got the Carolina. You got Carolina.
Coyotes,
you got the both Florida
Hurricanes.
teams.
Wait a minute. Wait. Are you calling the Carolina Panthers or Carolina Hurricanes the South instead of the East?
That's down. The Carolinas are down south.
Motherfucker, go down south and talk that shit. Say, oh, you guys ain't Southern, you're East Coast. They'll slap the shit out.
Go tell someone North Carolina they're an East Coast coaster. See what happens.
Considering they were the founder of the rebel flag.
You got the accent. You're down south. That's how it goes in my book.
Well, okay, the Midwestern down south. I mean, you have Dallas Stars and you have the Phoenix Coyotes. After that,
Nashville.
No, that's east.
That's motherfucker. I got to show you a map with the Mason-Dixon line on it.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the Predators.
Tennessee's got the accent. Dude, there's parts of Southern Ohio that got the accent. South can be more just one. It can be west, central, and east.
All I'm saying is I can go to New York and throw a rock in just about any direction but east and hit a fucking tame. I can't do that sitting here in Wichita, Kansas.
No, you got to drive to Texas, or you got to drive north to Minnesota.
Yeah, I got to take a 12-hour trip somewhere.
No, you got St. Louis. What the fuck are you talking about? You got the Blues.
That's still a 10-hour trip.
It's closer than Dallas. It's closer than Minneapolis. And where you at?
Oh, whatever.
You got the Avalanche too. And this conversation's off the rails.
This is such a dumb fucking Earl argument to have.
Yeah.
Where you fucking no, seriously, dude, stop. Grow the fuck up, man. Stop fucking looking for one thing out of a needle in a haystack to bitch about. Princess and the pea. You got fucking 50 mattresses stacked up and you're bitching about the pea at the bottom of the 50th one. Shut the fuck up. Well, then you know what? Go rub some dirt on it, you fucking faggot. What the fuck you want from me? Don't cry about it on this fucking podcast and waste our goddamn time with arguments that don't go nowhere. Jesus Christ. Oh, no, that's the East. Well, technically, that's the Midwest. Well, technically, fuck you. Technically, take a big old fucking dildo up your ass and fucking smile. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ.
Only if I get a Coke. That's the only way that's going to happen.
All right, so, yeah.
Anyways, long story short, NHL fucked themselves. I don't know what the NBA is doing. NBA's got better TV distribution. I'm sure you can still catch as many games as you want on TV. I don't know how if they're policing the streams online as much as the NHL was. And then the NFL, I don't know what the fuck the NFL thinks it's doing. Like, dude, they're taking streams down, and I'm like, are you stupid? Are there 40,000 people in the stands?
Yeah.
No. That brand new fucking $2.5 billion stadium in Las Vegas is sitting empty except for the people on the field and the fucking sidelines.
Well, and the new one in LA opened this year too.
Exactly. So seems to me you'd want to keep your fans engaged through this time. They can't come out and give you their fucking hard-earned money. So you take the hit now for the long-term fucking goodwill it's going to build for you. But as usual, because they're chasing that almighty dollar, they're being penny wise and dollar foolish.
Well, yeah,
they're fighting over pennies and watching $100 bills float out the window in the long run.
Well, yeah, my opinion, you slash $50 off the Sunday ticket, you're going to sell a lot more of those motherfuckers.
Exactly.
I don't know. They get my $10, and it ain't even them. It's probably a piece of they get $10 a month. I renewed my sports package in end of August like I do every year, and I'll cancel it at the end of December like I do every year. I got my red zone. That's all I need. Which, by the way, Detroit Lions, that should tell you something. I don't even make time to watch your shit anymore. If you show up, you get in the red zone, I see your shit.
Oh, I mean, dude, Reddit used to have there was a whole subreddit, NFL streams, every Sunday. You'd go there, and what game do you want to watch? Or Red Zone. They give you a link to the streams. NFL basically either sued or threatened Reddit with a lawsuit. Reddit took it down. And I'm sitting there thinking the legality of the situation is, so Reddit is responsible for what people post. What happened to personal responsibility? If I was to share a link to copyrighted material, I would get the copyright strike, especially if I posted it on like YouTube or something. They would do a copyright strike against my account, and anyone who had a problem with it, I would get the cease and desist letter, or we're going to sue the fuck out of you. Not YouTube. I know this because I've had a few friends get caught up in some bullshit when they thought they were sharing stuff online that was safe, and all of a sudden they get fucking entertainment lawyers from like LA and shit sending them paperwork going, we're going to sue the fuck out of you. So
I got a letter once with my old roommate from my ISP that was like, hey, we saw you doing this shit, don't do it again. Oh, all right. It's like, hey man, don't be downloading shit. You too good for, I forgot what that program's called, the one that blocks your IP.
VPN.
No,
or a Tor browser.
No, it was the thing you always had to use before you fired up BitTorrent or one of those sites.
Oh, like a proxy server.
Yeah, it made your IP not your IP.
Well, that's what a VPN does. Also, it sends you through like 4 or 5 different servers all over the world to the point where if you use that in a Tor browser and you use it the right way, you're pretty much invisible as far as tracking goes.
Nice.
I mean, like, don't get it twisted.
Allegedly, by the way, we have to. I think allegedly.
No, I'm just going to tell you this right now. Don't get it twisted. If the FBI, if a private company, if you're rummaging around someplace you're not supposed to be, and the FBI can fucking hit you with a charge, they'll find out where the fuck you've been. You just got to give them enough reason to look. Private companies can find out where the fuck you've been because they hire the black hat hackers. People get caught hacking a company. Company goes to them and goes, we're going to pay you a couple $1 million a year to find hackers like you used to be, but you work for us now. Okay.
Dude, the company that sent the letter named the movie that was downloaded. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Earl and I have a friend. He downloaded a fucking clip, a clip from a porn movie. Mm-hmm. So it's probably like a 10, 15-minute clip tops. And it cost him fucking over $3,000 fighting it in court because they came after him for a 15-minute clip.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hope he at least got to come.
I mean, now granted, this was 12, 13 years ago, so tube sites weren't as popular. Now it's like, what? YouPorn, X videos, everything on there's got to be pirated, right? Like they just have to be well, the barn horse is gone, the barn doors broke down. There's no way we're stopping this now. And the only thing the only thing they can really do is try to stop you from watching anything brand new that's still in the theater or is just released.
Well,
is a live program like sports.
You do what legit media started doing a few years ago. You just go, all right, have at it. You let people stream it, and then you just take a piece of the subscription fee from the place that's streaming it. Well,
I don't, whatever. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a businessman. I'm sure they'd tell me I'm wrong, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I just think that this was, once again, NHL shooting themselves in the foot, NFL shooting themselves in the foot. I don't watch basketball. I couldn't tell you what they were doing.
No, I mean, I'm with you because it's a lot of podcasts. To me, it all falls in the bucket of you are cutting off listeners. You are cutting off consumers of your product. You're cutting off eyeballs to watch your shit. To me, that's dumb, and you'll never tell me that that's a good idea. Like the example that I use is there's like podcasts now who are like exclusively on Spotify, and I always wonder why. Now, usually it's a giant check involved, but it's why are you limiting yourself to people that can get your shit? And that's the point you're getting at there, Rich. Like it's
Yeah, but even shit like YouTube, like with the Joe Rogan podcast, he doesn't post whole episodes up there anymore, I don't think, but he posts 15, 20-minute clips. He still uses YouTube to advertise his podcast on Spotify. That's a Spotify exclusive, which I'm waiting for YouTube to shut the door and the loophole on that one, because, I mean, I'm sure he still generates a lot of ad revenue by clicks, but I mean, dude, they can't be making what they used to make off of his shit. I mean, dude, we're talking his Alex Jones episode, where Alex Jones got high and started talking about interdimensional vampires and shit. Like, dude, I think there was like over 20, 30 million people watched that shit. The whole episode. That's a lot of fucking views for something that's not even a year old on YouTube.
wow.
Like, you go look up Everyday Normal Guy by John LaJoy, that's only got 10 million views. And that shit's been out 15 years. You go look up like any meme that's on YouTube that was huge, Gangnam Time or Gunga, whatever the fuck it was. That doesn't have, it took 10, 15 years to get 100 million views. Joe Rogan did it in a week, granted, because he got Alex Jones High, and Alex Jones High is fucking hilarious. And he said, I might be a little bit retarded. And it's like, yeah, you think, Alex? But anyway, sorry.
We've known that for years. But baseball playoffs started, and so there's a weird format. I noticed, I was reading, apparently the first series is the best of 3.
I guess.
That's what it looks like.
Because I got a notification that said Houston already took care of Minnesota. And Houston's already won, and the playoffs they started yesterday. They started on the 29th. We're recording on the 30th. So, yeah, I guess best of 2. And they're expanded as well. I did not know that. But, yeah.
So wait a minute. So, Houston, wait a minute. Yesterday, Houston beat the Twins. Today, Houston beat the Twins.
And that's it. They won their 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I guess they're just not doing the game 163, the one game play in. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them, how they're doing this shit. Like, I get it, whatever. And I tried, man. I tried real hard. I tried watching and listening to games and stuff, like Tigers games, and I'm just like, this just don't feel right, man.
Is it no fans?
No fans. The fact that you got guys who are getting off to either a hot start, who have artificially inflated stats, or guys who get off to a cold start, and by the time that the guys that are hot start cooling off, it's the end of the season. By the time the guys that get off into a slow start heating up, it's the end of the season. And so you're going to have guys with you're going to have Joe Blow from the fucking Orioles or some shit who hit 360. Yeah, but he did it in 50 at bats. I mean, shit, and then you're going to have some superstar. Well, he only hit 214 that year because he did it in 50 at fucking bats. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you Miguel Cabrera looks like he had a good season.
Yeah, well, even though there's, I think he's making his move to be traded, which I don't think is going to happen because of that contract, and I don't think the Illiches are going to eat that fucking contract enough for anyone to take him. But he's already making noise about he wants to play first and not DH next season. And I'm like,
motherfucker, based on what?
Yeah, you just got to the point where you were hitting like the old Miguel Cabrera that we haven't seen in 3-4 years this season. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably has something to do with the fact that you've been sitting on the bench and not playing out in the field.
It ain't 2010, buddy. It's 2020. You are not playing like you did in 2010.
I mean, he's been here for 13 seasons now.
God damn.
2008 was his first season. So, I mean, that's... You know what I'm saying? Dude, that's a career right there for a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't include the first 5 years he was in Miami. So he's been playing for 18 years. To me, he's like pool host. There's probably not a whole lot of suitors out there looking to trade for him. So I don't know what the fuck he thinks he's doing. But, yeah, I know that he's bitching that he wants to play every day at first. or at least, platoon at first. And it's like, dude, you knew the deal when you signed this contract. You were going to be here till the day you retire. You knew at some point you were going to be moved to DH.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be that guy. Don't be a dick about it. Just take your move to DH and collect your fucking ridiculously large paycheck.
Yeah. And you're getting paid more to do less. It's American dream.
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way, yeah. I mean, but see, the other thing that irks me is that, like, these pitchers they brought up, like Mize and Skubal and stuff, they didn't really have a chance to get settled into the whole fucking season. And to be brutally honest with you, the only reason they brought them up is because there was no AAA. If they were playing ball in Toledo, those guys would have probably stayed in Toledo all season. But they brought them up because we got to get – these are young arms. We have to get them experience. We can't basically put them on pause for a whole fucking year.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, what do you want to da-da-da? I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da? Well, what did we da yesterday? Yesterday. All the dolls feel like the same doll these days. I know. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh, no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday. Oh, no. No.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Not today or any day.
Quote today at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
As much as life has changed over the last year, you're still pretty busy. So consider convenient COVID-19 testing from Quest. Get the same tests hospitals use without a doctor visit. Simply order online, select from drive-through or at-home options, and get results sent securely to your phone or computer. It's a great fit for your busy life. With over 25 million COVID-19 tests processed, you can count on Quest. So order your test today at questcovid19.com.
Yeah, sure, the players bring some skill to the game, but if I don't put them in my lineup, who cares? Not me. I'm Eric Rubino, fantasy baseball GM and league runner-up 2 of the last 9 years. I use the Progressive Name Your Price tool with options based on my budget. And for a guy that's used to being in control, it fits. Like this runner-up t-shirt. Champ gets a trophy, but you can't wear a trophy. Boom.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What's up? It's Sierra, new member and ambassador for WW Weight Watchers Reimagined. Since joining, I feel healthier and more confident than ever. The new My WW Plus, our most holistic program ever, gives you more of what you need to lose weight, like tools to help boost your mindset, get you moving, and plan meals based on what you have on hand. Plus, over 300 zero-point foods you don't have to track. The new My WW Plus, more holistic, more personalized, more weight loss.
Join today with a limited time offer at WW.com.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Because the shit that no one's talking about is, when do the next season start up? Because I hate to break it to you, but beginning of October is when the hockey real season starts. They're usually gearing up for fucking camp right now.
Camp's just about over for hockey about now.
With basketball.
One thing I saw last week from both leagues, they're saying at least 2021, the next season is not happening this calendar year. I think I heard January 2021 for hockey, maybe. And then just Adam Silver said sometime in 2021 for basketball.
Yeah. So another shortened season, or are they going to bump the seasons? They can't with hockey. Hockey, you need what little cold weather you have in some of these hockey towns, because if not, that ice is going to be garbage, and that will believe me. Let a team start playing on on some ice that's just trash, or worse yet, it turns into like the fog games, where the whole inside of the hockey ring is just fogged up, and you can't even see what's going on. Yeah, then the owners, once they're like, okay, wait a minute, this is bullshit. We got to do something here. You guys gonna have to bite the bullet. Sorry you won the cup and you got to be back in fucking camp in 2 weeks, but that's just how it's got to go. I mean, you get paid to do it. Some of the best athletes in the world, if anybody could do it, they could. I just think it's a mistake to especially go through the holidays. I mean, maybe if they wanted to start up like the week before Thanksgiving, okay. But I mean, what happens if, God forbid, knock on wood, but what happens if the NFL and fucking college football implodes because you got some hard-headed motherfuckers that just won't listen to the shit, won't do what they're told?
Are you thinking we're going to have a second shortened season?
from what I'm understanding is there's no bye weeks this season in football, in pro or college. So there's no way to, if they have to drop a game, they either have to try to play it at some odd day during the week, which is going to fuck up their schedule for the next week, and the domino effect's going to fall for that team, or tack it on to the end of the season. And you don't play doubleheaders in football. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if this shit with college or pro teams go south, college is leaving itself a little bit more wiggle room because they're not trying to play a full schedule. The problem is if one team has an outbreak, but the other team doesn't, well, then that team, one team's not playing because they have an outbreak. The other team's not playing because the other team had an outbreak. What's the motivation for them to bump their schedule back a week, to change everything at the last minute? If I'm Notre Dame and Notre Dame's attached itself to a conference temporarily this season just so it's got somebody to play. And if I'm supposed to play a team and half their team comes down with COVID, well, that's a forfeit as far as I'm concerned. Sorry. If it happens to us, it's a forfeit. No one's going to cry because we're Notre Dame, What do you do? So
Actually, bye week, NFL is doing bye weeks. 5 through 13. With it's weird. Like there's week 5, there's 2 teams on bye. Week 6, there's 4. Week 7, there's 4. Week 8, there's fucking 6. Week 9, there is 4. Week 10, there's 4. Week 11, there's 6. Week 12, nobody. And then week 13, 1 team. So
then I guess
2 teams. My bad, but still.
Then I guess
college.
What they were talking about on 97.1, the local sports station, was bullshit because they said there's no bye weeks this year.
Huh?
Maybe college?
They said pro and college. I mean, look, it won't be the first time that
It's true.
They've gotten some shit wrong. I mean, they've even addressed it. They said with everything going on, shit changing at the last minute. Dude, how many times did we send each other in the group chat? College football coming back, Big Ten coming back, blah, 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 blah. And then, we're going to wait. And then finally they announced it, and it was like, okay, but is it for real? For
realsies?
Yeah, because don't tell me, oh, no, we're coming back. And then 2 days later, well, actually, we're still in discussions about it. Then why did you say anything 2 days ago, asshole?
Because everyone's got to be first. No one can be right. You got to be first.
I don't even think people care about being right anymore, especially in the journalistic world.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Looks like no bye weeks in college.
Okay. Maybe they misspoke or I misunderstood. Very possible. Whatever. I'll take the hit. My bad. It's not the first time I'm wrong. Won't be the last time. But I don't know, man.
Not feeling the baseball playoffs this year?
What's going to change just because we magically roll over into 2021? It's where, because I know why they're postponing it. They can say, well, we care about our players. No. You want to fucking wait till you're hoping that there's some sort of vaccine and that you can have at least 50, 60% capacity crowds because that's where your money's at. We all know it. I'd rather they just come out and said this shit and be like, yeah, so we're postponing it. Because this shit don't run on hopes and dreams. Period.
Commerce.
Exactly. It takes money to fly a team from one place to another. Mm-hmm. It takes money to put half a fucking league up in a city, in hotels, in a bubble. You know what I'm saying? In a bubble situation. And there's the strain and stress of doing that on the players. To me, that would be worse. Being away from your family, not being able to see your family for 2-3 months at a time. Yeah, you have people in the military, you have truck drivers that are gone, shit like that for that period of time. But you kind of expect that when you sign up for those jobs. That's part of it. This ain't part of this.
With all the downness on sports and everything, presenting it and everything, what I can say is I'm really glad they've started to tone down the political aspect. They did it the first week, but now it's more about the games.
Talk about the NFL?
Talked about them just about it. Like right now I'm watching the Marlins and the Chicago Cubs game. If there was anywhere in sports to advertise for Black Lives Matter, Biden, Trump, whatever, it would be at a baseball field. their fields are made to advertise, and yet they don't have Black Lives Matter, BLM, or Trump, or
well, because baseball's never tried to. Let's be honest, the MLB's not trying to be. The NBA is the one that tries to win the woke Olympics among the sports league. Let's be honest.
With the NFL, pretty close second at this point.
Yeah, thanks NFL. I haven't watched a pregame show yet this season, and I don't plan on it. But yeah, I don't think that's the MLB's audience, or the younger people tend to watch the NBA, the NFL. Baseball's for old people.
Well, there's also the fact that you have a lot of people in this country who need to realize we ain't as progressive as fucking we'd like to think we are. And politics is not intertwined. Just because you studied intersectionality when you were doing your underwater lesbian basket weaving degree doesn't mean that anyone else believes in that bullshit. Okay? There's people who actually watch sports, watch movies, listen to music, not to hear political bullshit, not to have someone's political opinion shoved down their throat.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, there's been a backlash. It's not the apocalypse like fucking the people on the far right want to say, no one's watching sports. No one's watching sports. That's not true. People are watching sports. In fact, more people watched the Monday Night Football game, or excuse me, Sunday night. Was it Sunday night or Monday?
The Chiefs,
Ravens and Chiefs. Yeah. They drew 14 million people on a cable channel. You give them a good matchup, people don't give a shit about the politics. They're going to tune in and watch. They might not watch the pregame. Now, I guarantee you the pregame shows are down. And, I mean, ESPN has lifted their ban on, the wokeness. So we'll see, because we went through this 4 years ago, and it didn't work out real well for ESPN.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they basically had to fucking rip apart everything to the studs and rebuild that shit. And now you're handing you spent 4 years rebuilding what you let people tear down in 6 months. Now you're letting the exact same type of people come in, and they're going to tear down and deconstruct what you spent 4 years building. I have no sympathy.
One more again.
I have no sympathy for you. I have none. I just don't. I don't care. And I'm far enough away. I'm far enough removed from having cable and watching ESPN on a daily basis, where the only thing that ESPN does that I give a fuck about is Monday Night Football and their 30 for 30 movies.
I have ESPN, and to me, I'd use them for their app, because you know what the app does? It gives me scores.
Exactly.
Like ESPN used to. And it gives me highlights, like ESPN used to.
If you want Rich's sympathy, look between shit and syphilis.
In the dictionary, and that's where you find it. Well, how can I, man? I mean, the problem is that there's so many fucking people who want to just tear down sports, and I think sports for the most part is doing what it feels like. People in sports are doing what they feel they have to at this moment. This is, if you had a pretty much 50-50 divide in all major sports like we do on the streets, and politics was what was dividing us, I think it would be disastrous for sports owners and league owners and people running leagues. So they know this. So they're going to err on the side of, you need your fix. So we'll do all the woke flake shit, and you can just skip it, and you can come in and watch football and get your fix. But then you start hearing shit, what's going on, like Chris Collinsworth. Week 1, he gets taken to task by the usual suspects on the left because he didn't bring up Black Lives Matter. And he gets taken to task by the usual suspects on the right because he referenced a player wearing someone who'd been killed by the cops' name on their jersey. And I just thought of what, Chris, you've been saying for fucking the 6 years since we've been doing shows together again. It's America's favorite game. Heads you lose, tails I win. There's no winning here. And so why would they dip their toe in that water more than they have to?
Mm-hmm.
I said this last week with Ice. The news will be there before the game and after the game. I'm sorry. I know it's the racist point of view to take now. I just want to watch a fucking football game. I just want to watch a fucking baseball game. I just want to watch a basketball game. I got a smartphone. I got CNN. I'm aware of the news. I don't fucking need it in everything.
Here's what kills me is that I have no problem with people. You want to take a knee during national anthem? It's going to piss some people off, not me. I don't care. Go ahead. You want to run back into the fucking locker room when national anthem plays? Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. You want to stand there with your hand on your heart, crying, singing the lyrics? I don't give a fuck.
And I'm the same. But
I just don't care.
But it's the part where it's the whole believe what I believe or die. That mindset that
you know what? I have a problem that they have to play 2 national anthems now because it delays the start of the fucking game. Not the 2 national anthems, but it delays the start of the game.
Well, the other part is not this podcast. It's also calling the other one the white national anthem by default. And that's I've got a problem with that. But we're talking about sports.
Well, I mean, this is unfortunately this is what happens when we let people come in and muddy the waters, and you don't gatekeep your community and keep the fucking bullshit fans who want to come in like locust, because that's what they are, eat up and destroy everything, and then move on to the next thing. There are tons of recession-proof, we're never going to go broke businesses that are now sitting here looking at the rubble of their fucking businesses because they let the wrong people through the front door. I mean, it's just all there is to it. The comic book industry is fucked. They're making comics for people who don't read comics. And they're fucking literally telling their long-term customers, we don't want you around anymore. That's not good business. I feel like the NBA walked up to that line, and I know certain NFL players have said flat out, well, if you feel this way or you're going to vote for Trump, don't root for me or my team. Well, you can't stop them. That's just all there is to it. All you can do is piss them off to where they walk away. But guess what? You piss off enough people and enough people walk away, your paycheck gets smaller there.
Yes.
Deshaun.
Sports has lost sight of the fans are the customers. There's a lot of entitlement going on with athletes, and I guess there always has been. But it's, hey man, those are your customers. That's how you get paid, man. You really want to alienate half of them? You really want to send a bunch of them away?
It's they try to appease everybody, and everybody knows you will never please everybody. And so you'll make a comment about Black Lives Matter, or make a comment about social justice, trying to appease some people, but you're pissing everybody else off.
Whatever happened to Michael Jordan?
That are never 3-4 times, maybe these people will watch your sport. And meanwhile, people that are diehard fans will go through a 0-16 or 0-17 season and keep watching, and you're going to push them away?
Whatever, just be
to try to make sure.
Plain old greedy like Michael Jordan saying conservatives buy sneakers too. Whatever happened to that?
Because this goes back to what we were talking about pre-show. People have etched out their corner of the world via social media. The minute they're talking to someone who they could be lifelong friends with. This person's risked their life to help this person. Fought back with their back to the person's other back and fought out of horrible situations. Held them when their fucking parents died. Loaned them thousands of dollars. Gave them a place to live. Does not matter. The minute you get to one subject you disagree on, unfriend, block. So these people think they're right because it's all they do is talk to people that tell them they're right. That's why Elvis died on a shitter in his fucking early 40s. Because no one told him no. That's why these children have grown up and are now trying to run the world through temper tantrums and threats of violence because they never got their ass beat. They were never told no. You don't tell them no, they tell you no.
They were never told, hey, shut up. Older people might know more than you.
Linda, listen. Listen,
oh my
Linda.
God, dude, when that fucking meme come out, I wanted to grab that fucking kid's head and smash it into a brick wall until there was nothing but just dust and blood on that wall. I fucking hated that cunt of a fucking child. Fuck him, fuck his mother, and fuck everyone who thought it was funny. Shit wasn't funny. Because I guarantee you that kid grew up to be a fucking shitbird. It's now a drain on fucking society. I can't stand that shit. I mean, simple fucking facts get lost in people's feelings these days, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, cash me outside. How about that? Right?
We didn't have these problems 30, 40, 50 years ago. 85% of people sitting in prison were raised in a single mother household. Yet you bring that fact up and people fucking throw a shit fit.
Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to. That's a hate fact.
What are you saying about my mama?
Well, no,
that she ain't shit, just like you, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe if she said something more to you than "Mommy be back" every Friday night while she went out fucking whoring around, sucking down gallons of semen and shitting it out the next morning, maybe this kid wouldn't have grown up to be a piece of shit drain on society.
And you can't even bring up, "Hey, Dad, maybe be." Dude, trust me, the ship has sailed on. "Hey, Dad, stick around." Just, "Hey, Dad, be involved." Trust me, I get it. Not everyone. You shouldn't get married to somebody you knock up just for that fact. I understand that. It's 2020, but just. It's all anecdotal, but I can go through just the people I know who I consider well-adjusted and smart, and life's going pretty good for them because Dad was just involved. Trust me, we're like the first generation where you're in school and half your parents are divorced. Before that, you just stuck it out till the kids were 18 and then got divorced. Probably the age group before us, but we were definitely the generation where divorce started just running through the culture. And just, if Dad was involved, the kids still turned out. Dad didn't have to be around. He just had to be involved.
Here's what I don't understand, and I don't get about this. Okay, these athletes attaching themselves and their name and their likeness to these social movements. Granted, I know I'm not dealing with Rhodes Scholars for the most part when we're talking professional athletes. Let's be honest here. But still, not all of them are dumb as rocks. Quite a few of them are probably fairly intelligent, but they are the laziest researchers I've ever fucking met in my life. They are throwing their support behind groups who want to tear down anything that they consider a meritocracy, which is what sports is. The strongest wins.
That's the one thing I'm like, we always talk about people who, run around and say the sky is falling and I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that and blah, blah, blah. That's the one thing I'm worried about that no one's really paying attention to, that's really going to fuck us up as a society and no one really realizes it, is meritocracy going away. Like, you just start handing people shit just because. It's not a recipe for a productive society, folks.
Well, this is what I'm getting. What do you do? Why even play the games? Just give everybody a Super Bowl ring at the beginning of the fucking season. Just have one OTA.
It's only way the Lions getting one anyway.
And just, here you go, here's your Super Bowl rings. Have a nice one. But here's the problem. Those paychecks, they go away.
Oh, yeah. You don't get to be the highest paid player in the league because everybody's equal. Everybody makes the same.
Believe me, when people start talking about they want equality of outcome, the only way to guarantee equality of outcome is to lower the bar to where even a fucking comatose person can get over the bar.
What?
So if that's where the bar is set, there's no negotiating. There's no fucking, I do better than him, because that's hateful. How dare you say that? That's ableist. What's wrong with you?
That's bullying.
Exactly.
How dare you bring up that the NBA makes, what is it, like 10 times as much money as the WNBA and doesn't operate at a loss like the WNBA does? How dare you?
That's sexist.
It's every few years the shit comes up with women's soccer. Hey, man, Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the TV ratings and the receipts from the stadiums.
And on top of that, put your ass where your mouth is. If the women draw more crowds, get bigger ratings, and that's a fact, then refuse to play until you're paid more than the men.
Yeah.
Do what men did for 150 years while they were fucking establishing workers' rights. Go get your hands dirty, sweetheart. Sacrifice a little bit. Hope Solo, you're going to have to cut down on the butthole pics you send Jeremy Stevens. You don't have the unlimited fucking data package anymore. Okay? Sorry, sweetheart. You're going to have to bend over and let him sniff your ass in person. Let him clean that muffler for you. What the fuck? What do you expect from... First of all, that's the other thing. Billionaires and millionaires preaching to fucking poor people about real life.
Oh,
get the fuck out of my face.
So I went off on this last week with Ice. Every time I hear LeBron talking about being black, it fucking boils. You get treated better than most white people. Like, he has celebrity privilege. LeBron James, when he gets pulled over, doesn't even go through the typical experience a white person does with a cop. He gets, oh, hey, can you sign this? Can we take some selfies? Have a nice night.
Absolutely.
Trust me. You got the right blood alcohol content and you're white. That is not the experience you are having. I'll tell you that one. You could be Johnny Nobody who makes 7 figures a year. Fucking, the cop don't know who the fuck you are. You're just someone they're pulling over. And it always bugs me when LeBron's like, they're hunting us. No, they're not. First, you live in a gated community. You've been a billionaire since you were 18. What do you mean, us? If I was if I was Joe Six-Pack Black Man, if that's a thing, I'd be pissed. Like, you're going to tell me you live the same life I live?
See, but that's the shit that's like...
Wait, Joe Six Black would have been a better nickname, by the way.
But that's the shit. It's like, you can't get this across to anybody, though. Because the minute you say anything, no, we're done with you. You're canceled. Bye.
Like I've said on this podcast, I've said it on Regimented, I've said on probably every podcast I do. People who make 6 digits or more trying to tell me about regular life, you can get the fuck out. You do not live regular life. The average American makes $50,000 a year. That's the average American. There's people on the low end, there's people on the high end. There's 7 digits in your salary. You can get the fuck out of my face. You do not live the life of an average American. No matter how hard even Warren Buffett with your 20-year-old car, motherfucker. You do not live the life of an average American. You do not worry about, am I going to make my bills this month? No. I hate that shit. And sports is full of it. You have a staff. I don't have a staff. Sorry.
One of the things that was killing me when they were debating whether or not there was going to be college football was they don't care about student athletes.
No, they care about money.
Yeah, duh. Why?
Honest people know this.
Why are you a employee who's in your mid to late 30s and you're saying this like it's a revelation you just figured out? If you're that naive about the real world, you don't need to report to anybody. You need to go back to preschool or school.
How long has college football been around? They're in 4 years from now going to start compensating the athletes. They've had a free labor force for, let me see how
150 years?
See what the Google machine says about the age of college football.
I think it's like the 1870s, 1880s.
1869. November 6th, 1869. So yeah, going to be 151 years of college football. By the time it is 155 years old, the players are going to finally start getting compensated. And you're just now like, what did you see? What was it? Kirk Herbst? Sorry, I'm derailing the conversation. I might be drinking whiskey. Was it Kirk Herbstreit's speech he gave like 3 or 4 weeks ago where it sounded like he just discovered racism? It's like that kind of shit with people who are like, oh, they don't care about the student. No shit. People who follow college football have known about this for years.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Looking to kick old habits to the curb? #1 New York Times bestselling author Jen Sincero gets to the core of habit transformation in Badass Habits. Whether you need to break them, make them, understand them, or stick to them, Badass Habits shows you how in a simple 21-day guide. Featuring Jen's hilarious voice, Badass Habits offers a much-needed fresh take on conventional wisdom. Badass Habits, with audiobook read by the author, is now available wherever books and audiobooks are sold.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Okay, so, did you see that game the other day? The refs, right? I mean, come on. They were totally out to get us. That always happens to our team. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to 50.
Pop stars with auto-tune.
Yeah.
And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
The best conversation I had, which wasn't very long, and it wasn't really much of a conversation because this guy just would not listen to what I was saying. He insisted on turning the conversation to something I didn't say. It was a couple weeks ago, about a month ago. Odell Beckham Jr. came out and was like, well, I got to play. I'm out here risking my life for COVID. And I'm like, no, you're risking your life for a paycheck. And you're doing it for a hell of a lot bigger paycheck than I got when I had to work through the entire fucking first 3 months of the fucking outbreak. Okay? When we didn't know shit and everybody was fucking scared and huddled down and collecting their $600 a month from Uncle Sugar, I was out there working my shit job that I was working the day before they shut the country down.
Which, by the way, I'm still waiting on that essential worker holocaust. Sorry.
And I said in a comment, he can opt out if he wants to. No one's stopping him. Yeah. And this guy comes back and he goes, oh, so because he's black, he's got to quit. And I was like,
he's fucking rich.
How do you even fucking come up with that out of what I said? Go back and read the article. Educate yourself. I've read the article. I've also read 6 other articles about the exact same subject. My response has been to every article, then sit out the season.
You don't have to play. You're not an indentured servant. Trust me, it's like, it's the shit I said about the people at Spotify with the bees in their bonnets. You ain't a fucking indentured servant. You don't have to work there. You don't like it, quit. Especially Odell Beckham.
More than that.
You can quit for years.
More than that, you ain't owed the job from them.
Yeah.
It's not yours in perpetuity until you decide you don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, remember what happens if they sit out because of COVID?
Oh yeah, they still get. Don't they still get like $350,000 for the season?
It's like $850. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And their signing bonus.
Yeah, you get your signing bonus and almost $1 million if you're like, I'm sitting it out. You could have still made money.
This was one of the few people I think I had 3. I posted my initial comment about then he can sit out the season, and then he come back with, because he's black, he's got to sit it out. It's his only option. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What does one have to do with the other? If fucking Matt Stafford, if Tom Brady said that he was sitting out the season, I'd say, well, okay. Probably. But Tom, I don't know if I'd sit out many more seasons, though, because you might not have many left, especially after seeing how you're playing this year.
Yeah.
But just, hey, whatever. Do your thing. And you're a racist, Trump supporter, blah, 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 blah. Educate yourself. And I was like, okay, we're done here. We're done. There's no point in having that's not a conversation. I want you to shut up, and I want you to agree with everything I say. That's not a conversation. It's not an exchange. That's what you do. That's what your parents should have did to you after they beat your ass on a daily basis. But they didn't. Instead, they put you in a corner and told you to stand there for 10 minutes. And after 2 minutes, you cried and you pissed your fucking pants and you threw a shit fit. And they said, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up, cunt, and get the fuck out the corner. Just get the fuck out my face. So you got your fucking way, you little piece of shit. Now you're an adult who's a piece of shit.
Yeah, because I said so was never the right answer. Whereas it was always the right answer when we were growing up.
Dude, that was the answer that was like, all right, we're done here.
It's not fair. Life ain't fair.
Oh, my God. How many times did we all hear that growing up?
Here's a deck of cards. Deal with it. Build a bridge. Get over it.
We all came from varied backgrounds, all 3 of us, and we all heard that shit.
Dude, the amount of adults legally, but they're like 5-year-old mentally, that I see crying about anything and everything. It's mind-boggling. And I'm just like, who lied to you and told you that life is fair? Who lied to you and told you that you should have the same outcome just because, as someone like Jerry Rice, just because you went and tried out for a football team one time? You're not guaranteed a spot on that football. That's why you tried out. You weren't good enough. You lose. Good day, sir.
Trust me, this new thing that's out, I'm starting to hear it more and more and more. It's like, yeah, but I tried. Well, yeah, you know what? Sometimes you tried and you failed. Just because you tried does not mean you should get what you want. Trust me, I tried for years to be a professional musician. I'm not whining about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried, so I should be making money playing guitar. Nope, tried, failed, move on.
The road to success is littered with the shedded skin of people who tried and said, well, that didn't work. So they shed their old skin, got thicker new skin, and moved forward. Because that's what you do. This is what I think is what's ultimately going to turn sports into something that, like, if I'm still alive, God, I hope I'm not when this happens. I'll just be done. I'll just stop watching sports. Which is, everything is so watered down that I'm literally watching someone out there who has no business being out there. And everybody's taking it easy on this person because, well, this person has cerebral palsy, but they're a hockey player. Then what the fuck are they doing out there? Okay, we don't send cripples and mentally deficient people into combat for a reason. You don't take someone who can barely stand up on skates and put them in a professional hockey team. You don't take someone who's never thrown a football and set them under center and tell them, okay, now throw a post pattern. Huh? Exactly. But that's what the fucking shit's going to turn into. Because that's the ultimate goal. It is the ultimate goal, guys.
It is. But when I was growing up, and when I know people before me were growing up, sports made a man what a man was going to be the rest of his life. Either you were an all-star and you had what it took to play football, or you didn't, and you found something else you were good at. However, football, baseball, wrestling, whatever your team was, whatever your game was, if you won, awesome. If you lost, awesome. Because when you lost, your coach would tell you, all right, guys, we lost, but we're not losers. By no stretch of the imagination are we losers. We are going to fight and claw and train, and we're going to come back more pissed off, more ready, and we're going to try it again next season. Now, what that calculated in your brain as you're going through the years of school is, all right, I didn't get that job. That's fine. I'm going to work this job, and I'm going to be the best at this job I can do right here, right now. So when I apply for that job again in another company, I'm going to eat those motherfuckers for lunch. But no, we've lost that. You guys are right. That's what gets taken away when you take away sports competition, when everybody gets a trophy. Now they don't have to go back and prepare. Now they don't have to go back and train. Now they don't have to go back and reevaluate themselves. Now it's just handed to them. And when it's not because they weren't good enough. It's not because they need to go reevaluate. It's because somebody's racist, sexist, homophobic, whatever ish and ism you want to put on this motherfucker.
I've brought it up on this program a few times, but one of the first pieces of fatherly advice that I ever got that I remembered that is stuck in my brain to this day as an adult, there's always somebody who wanted it more than you, and there's always somebody who practiced one more day than you. And that applies to fucking everything.
And it always will.
Here's the deal, man. We're done. We're done. This ain't going to happen. This is history. This has happened. The generation it happened to is right now in the streets, mostly peaceful protesting, because they don't know how to not get their way. That's why they don't like competition. That's why they don't like sports. The biggest pussies I've ever met in my life are the ones who hate sports. And you know why? Because they can't stand the all or nothing proposition of there's a winner and there's a loser.
That's life.
So they sit there with their Mark Maron haircuts and their fucking scruffy ass fucking wispy beards that look like fucking Ethan Hawke from Training Day. And, I like individual competitions, but I don't like, team sports. Because blah, 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 blah.
Well, have fun working.
Shut the fuck up.
If you're not good with a team, have fun working.
But we don't do that. No. Oh, poor baby. You couldn't throw a ball? Oh, that's so sad.
Well, no, and you were chubby and you couldn't run? Oh, you poor thing. Here, have a candy bar.
I mean, dude, we're sitting here and we have allegedly NBA and MLB players who are so fucking narcissistic and self-centered, and the world revolves around them. They were flying Instagram hoes into the bubbles they were in and running trains on them, to the point where one baseball team had such a bad outbreak, allegedly due to this, that they had to play 11 double headers in a 60-game season. You had another one of these Instagram hoes saying she's got video of 7 out of 10 or 11 guys on a basketball team running a blow bang on her.
Oh yeah, that chick. How about the dude who got booted out of the bubble for letting contact tracer into his room? Hope it was a great piece of pussy, because you got sent home early for it. I mean, dude,
they can't even fucking follow simple instructions to make millions of dollars in a championship, possibly.
Dude, so it's like what I told you when I was at the airport, right? How everybody thinks every sign ends with parentheses except you. It's the same mentality. Everyone's got to stay in the bubble except you. No one can have guests except you.
Right. That's like last week when we were talking about a certain NBA player who was throwing a temper tantrum because he wasn't voted MVP of the league.
But play like the MVP then, asshole.
Wow. It's not fair. It's not right. I'm the best player in the league. Where's my candy bar?
And you know what I like? The guy who did get named MVP said, don't name me MVP till I win a title. I love that.
Because that's the killer instinct. That's sadly lacking. It's sadly lacking in a lot of people these days, not just sports figures, but it's just a lot more blatant when you see it in a sports figure, because we're used to having killers out there. Guys who want to bury the dagger in your throat. Guys who want to see you cry on the sidelines at the end of the game. Guys who want to hear you fucking go, fuck.
Guys who won't
damn it.
Bitch about you running up the score.
Exactly.
And by the way, for what it's worth, this player, not from the United States.
Was going to say that very thing. He's not from here.
As
Other
Joey
countries
Diaz,
are looking at us going, oh, I'm going to fuck you until you love me.
as Joey Diaz says, we're fucked. Because we lost that immigrant mentality decades ago in this country. We don't have it anymore. The people coming into this country have it. And they're like, I'll buy a fucking liquor store, and me and my brother and my wife and his wife and our kids will work this motherfucker from 7 in the morning till 2 in the morning, get 5 hours sleep, and do it 7 days a week. And then at some point they'll be able to retire, and they can either sell the store, hand it to their kids, and there's their kids' nest egg.
Yep. The job that I used to have. So many times I heard the story, I came here with $20, now I'm a millionaire. Generally, an Indian guy. My father-in-law, also Indian, tells my wife all the time, there's money laying around here everywhere. Americans are just too lazy to pick it up.
See, and I agree to an
so agree to that.
That's that immigrant mentality.
I agree to an extent, but what the amendment I would add to that is that Americans aren't taught how to pick it up. I never once had anyone in my family talk to me about how to establish credit, how to make sure you don't get burned on your taxes, how to fill out a W-2, how to make sure, how to negotiate for a car, how to negotiate a fucking job, payroll. Not one of those things.
Right,
and here's
but the American dream is for the American
I'm not done. Here's the thing. They don't think it's their they're like, well, no one told me. And how'd that work out for you? Well, I mean, I'd probably be a lot farther ahead in life if I'd known this shit. So, because you got fuck over your children?
That's the first thing I thought, like, so you got fucked, so I'm fucked too? What the fuck is that shit? Don't drag me down.
I mean, dude, dead ass serious. The best fucking people I've ever worked with, as far as coworkers, have been jobs where I work near the border of this country, because there's a lot of people from other countries who came in and they're like, we ain't here for no bullshit. We're here to do the job, get the job done, go home. Don't want to sit here and talk about fucking what happened on Friends last night, unless you can talk while you do your job. That's fine. But if you're one of those people that you got to stop doing your job to talk about Friends, I don't care about Rachel's nipples that much.
Yeah.
It just ain't that important.
I say it all the time to people. Hands and mouth can work together, folks. They can both work at the same time.
I mean, I really am kind of shocked that. Well, okay, let me ask this question first. I don't want to make an assumption, so I'm going to go to our resident expert on NASCAR. So I'm assuming they still have all their bullshit bans in place, and you can't have this flag, and you can't wear this piece of clothing, and all this. Correct?
They try real hard, but it's in place, but it's not enforced. Which
was one of the outcomes when we sat here talked about it. I said, yeah, they just won't put the camera on them in the stands, but they're not going to turn fucking a paying customer away from those stands.
Nope.
Especially if 90% of them show up in a fucking rebel flag. You show up in a battle flag of the Confederacy, but you're paying cash. Yeah, we just won't put you on camera. Yeah. That's fine.
You sit in the back.
But I mean, you hit on something, Chris. The NBA, it's kind of built into the NBA. NBA is predominantly black. That's not even controversial to say. That's just a fact. Like, no one would argue with that fact unless they're just looking to argue. So I understand them leaning into the whole Black Lives Matter. We're going to put names of, quote unquote, victims of police brutality, which, I mean, apparently that just means anybody who's not white who gets fucked up by the police, for even if they deserve it, they're a victim now. Because that's what I mean, got a guy wanted on a warrant for fucking sexual assault, an active open warrant, walking away from the cops telling him he's going to his car to grab a weapon. They light his ass up. He's a victim. I'm like, no, he's a dumbass. He got what he deserved. If I did that, I would expect to get shot.
Yep, me too. I'm going to go get a gun. I'll be right back.
That's why I don't do that.
Complying makes life so much easier.
Why does my back hurt?
But I mean, it's just but the NFL, it's like, NFL's got a lot of old guard in it, especially in its fan base. And it's kind of built into the fucking system. Like, I bet you a lot of these old coaches, they ain't with all this touchy-feely, new age bullshit. They don't want to hear about your chakras or your fucking Pilates or your fucking third eye or none of that bullshit. They want you to fucking, I'm your strength and conditioning coach. I'm here to break you. And then when you think you can't do it anymore, I'm going to give you the motivation to do what you thought was impossible. Because that's my fucking job. Now shut up and let me do my goddamn job.
Yeah, I guarantee you about 80% of people, you mentioned old guard, Rich. Yeah, 80% of people would still talk about 85 Bears being the dominant force in the NFL. And you could say something about the Bucs defense or the Ravens defense. No, 85 Bears.
Absolutely. There's a documentary that was floating around on it.
And you were going to say it. Yep, there is.
Everybody. I mean, it's everybody in that documentary is like, if you don't have them rated as the greatest, you really you better come with a fucking correct argument about who's better than them. Because that defense was mean, nasty, and did not give a fuck.
I don't even think they cared about their own offense, which entitled Sweetness. I swear to God, I don't. From what I've seen from them and the interviews I've seen from them, the 85 Bears defense was a very, very, very contained, self-contained unit in and of themselves. And you were not, speaking of being not invited to the party, you were so not invited to that circle.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, dude, we've talked about it ad nauseum. About the fucking Dick walking in and Ryan going, fuck out. This defense only. I'm the head coach. I don't give a fuck if you're God. Get the fuck out of my defensive fucking get the fuck out of my defensive classroom.
Nice.
Period. I don't give a fuck who you are.
He's so dead.
Nowadays it'd be like, oh my God, it would be the head first story. Tension behind the scenes and sensitivity training and implicit bias and
toxic workplace,
toxic masculinity in the workplace. And, I mean, like, just really? Okay. All right. But I don't know. I really hope we're done with the fucking, the protest. Say what you want in interviews. I don't give a fuck. I don't watch interviews. I don't watch pre or post game shows anymore. I just watch the game.
Yep.
So do what you want. I don't care. Like, here's the thing. You're wasting your breath. The people who agree with you don't watch your sport. You're trying to score brownie points with people who don't care.
Yeah.
This is why communities have gates around them, to keep out people who don't mean anybody inside the community anything but harm. Period. End of story. You let these people in. These people, their job is to find a fandom, whether it be comic books, music, video games, sports, does not matter. To find a fandom, to go in, deconstruct it, tear it down, accuse it of every ist and ism in the book, and then leave just a wake of destruction in their path as they move on to the next thing. And I really hope this shit... I mean, politics is seeped into everything. Everything's fucking political at this point. Everything's fucking political. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you have COVID, what medication they're going to give you? They ask you what's your political leanings before they suggest a medication, because if you're anti-Trump, I don't know, this happened. I mean, he's the guy's an MMA fighter, and he's always on Joe Rogan's show, and he caught COVID, and he went to the doctor, and they said, "How do you feel about Trump?" And he goes, "What the fuck does that have to do with COVID?" Well, this hydrochloroquine or whatever the fuck. I can prescribe it to you. You can try it, but there's people, because they hate Trump, they won't take it. Man, you got to be full of so much hatred, something that might save your life. Fuck that. Like Dave Chappelle said, you got to be racist as fuck not to take a paid day off of work. He's like, white people going, I'm going to work on Martin Luther King Day. Fuck that. It could be Ku Klux Klan Day. I'm going to be out there barbecuing, raising a beer to him. There you go, Nathan Forrest. Have a good one. Fuck it. I'm getting 8 hours of pay. Shit.
Chris, I got the Lakers in 5, dog.
I was going to say, I think the discussion about wokeness covers the NBA, college football.
Yep.
You know, probably just go right into the big boy football.
Well, the only thing I want to ask about college football is, do you think we're going to have a normal bowl season?
No.
Yes. They lost. No. They lost out on their tournament money. They're going to figure that shit out.
They're not going to figure it out. There's no way. With the many bowls, as we've talked about on this podcast, with all of the who gives a fuck bowls, with all of them, no. This is not going to be normal by no
You know what?
stretch.
You're right. With no fans, that's a good point. Because it costs a lot of money to do that with no fans.
Again, we're in the woke days now. If you have a bowl game in your name, and just for spiffball, Tostitos Bowl, whatever, and people are going, how in the fuck can you do that in the midst of a pandemic? Boycott Tostitos. No, they're not going to do that. There's no freaking way in hell.
I think you'll still get your national championship off.
Well, yeah, you'll get the big name bowls, the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, but you're not going to get the Alamo Bowl, the FedEx Bowl, the Who Gives a Fuck Bowls. You're not going to get them. I mean, there was like 50 of them.
Yeah, so you're probably right, because it's a lot of infrastructure and a lot of shit for no fans. You know, especially the tickets defray a lot of that cost in the Who Gives a Shit Bowl.
Taking a lot of risk on COVID spread, taking a lot of risk on backlash for COVID. Yeah, no fucking way. But definitely Lakers and 5. That's where I'm at. I think Heat win 1 and Lakers win at home.
Yeah, Lakers will win.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
My name's Barry. I live right above you. I don't host parties. I host after parties. They're like parties, only louder and nobody goes home. You can see right here I ripped out all the carpeting because it was holding me back with my pogo stick. Man's got a pogo. Oh, I'm a prankster. I'll grease up a soda can and then when somebody grabs it, boom!
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor, but we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter. Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
All right, so let's talk NFL. What's going on there, Rich? Talk about you've been bringing up the home team. Is that what that's about?
NFL. Yeah. Well, let's see. Get the Lions out the way.
Yeah.
Of course, they win that game.
Yeah, right.
How?
It's the most Lions thing you can do.
Because they win that game, that buys another couple weeks reprieve for Quinn and Patricia.
Yeah. That bought Matt Patricia probably till at least mid-season.
Now, if they lose the next two, which, I mean, like I said, they could have went 0-5 if Jacksonville keep the ship upright, but that don't look to be happening. But whatever.
That team's a pile of shit.
If they go 1-4, yeah, he better win the next two games. They better be 3-4 by the time week 7 rolls or week 8 rolls around.
I see nothing on that team that gives me any hope that this is going to be a good season. Nothing.
Well, I'm going to put it to you this way. I've not seen any team have a dynasty and or have just a great season with a defensive coordinator as a head coach. You could be an all-around coach. You could be an offensive coordinator, but you can't be a defensive coordinator and then go to head coach and have just a spectacular career as a head coach.
Because Tony Dungy never did that. I mean, dude.
Tony Dungy, he wasn't a defensive coordinator.
He sure as fuck was. Bro, he was a defensive player for Philly.
I knew he was a defensive player. I didn't know he was a defensive coordinator. I thought he was offensive.
Ew, he worked underneath, he worked with Lane Kiffin. That's how come when he was a head coach, he said, or Monty Kiffin, excuse me. Lane Kiffin's his son. I was like, no, please stay. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to have a hard enough time trying to run this offense. I'm a defensive guy. I get what you're saying, but look, man, here's what needs to happen with the Lions. They needed to go 0-4. They need to get rid of Quinn and Patricia. They need to either trade Stafford before the trade deadline, which is slim to none, not going to happen. Trade him in the offseason. Get as much draft capital as they can. Move up as high as they can to get the quarterback that they want for the future. And, hey, we'll be relevant in 4 to 5 years.
They had a quarterback available when they drafted.
Yep.
They did not take
They drafted Okudah, who has been, how many snaps has he played? And he's your, fourth round, fourth overall pick? And he's not starting every down. He's essentially what? a nickelback. He comes in when they're a nickel or dime formation. That's why no cornerback has been chosen that high since what? Deion Sanders?
Right.
Because there's no cornerback worth choosing that fucking high. Like, seriously, man. That's not a game-breaking Yeah, Darrelle Revis, Deion Sanders, Rondé Barber. There's a handful, but he's a safety. But I mean, like, these are guys I'm talking about. That's over 35 years. I named 3 guys who might be worth taking that high. Okudah ain't one of them. That's on.
Okay,
Quinn.
Patrick Peterson. He would have been good.
That's on Quinn. He's the one making those draft decisions. And Patricia, I think it's painfully obvious. The NFL needs to stop trying to pull from the coaching tree of Belichick. It doesn't work that way. Daddy Belichick protects those motherfuckers. He makes them look like geniuses. Then they get out there on their own, and it's like a monkey fucking a football. And there is just college and pros are littered with his former assistant coaches that didn't do jack and shit. So this shit just needs to stop. The Lions need to bring in a football GM, not a Matt Millen. I played football, thought I could be a GM. I'm talking somebody who's made a career of my ultimate goal is to be the GM of a football team. And they did it, and they worked their way up through the ranks. They know the system. They know the process. Then they need to get a head coach and go, you got 4 years. And on that 5th year, we better be winning, and we better have a playoff winning, or else you're gone. End of story. This bullshit needs to stop. This bullshit of, well, we're going to let the head coach go but keep the GM. We're going to make the GM play with a coach that he didn't want. We all knew Caldwell's time was fucking up the minute Quinn got here. And that was retarded because why would you bring in a GM who wants to get rid of fucking Caldwell when he's your most winning coach since 1957? He had a better win percentage than Cocaine Wayne.
His average record was 9-7. We had that conversation.
Yes.
His average record was a winning record, and we got rid of him. The fuck is wrong with us?
So Quinn could bring his boy in. And his boy come in and has done what? Jack and shit. And that fucking comment, when they asked him about, the last play of the Chicago game, and he's like, well, I was a defensive coordinator during one of the greatest stops in the Super Bowl. What the fuck are you talking about a Super Bowl that happened 6 years ago for?
That ain't right now, buddy.
We're talking about right now. You're talking about 6 years ago, all right? I don't want to hear about 6 years ago. Well, I want to hear about the game that you just fucking coached. It was what? His 8th, 9th game since he's been coach of the Lions that he's had a lead going in the fourth quarter and lost? Come on, man. That's got to be on him.
10-24-1 as a Lion. He has a 300 winning percentage. This ain't baseball, motherfucker.
I take that back. He didn't lose all of them. They did tie with Arizona that one time.
Yeah.
So
that one time in Arizona.
And somewhere Donovan McNabb is still saying, I didn't even know you could tie in football.
Yeah.
But no, I'm dead serious, man. Like the Lions, this was the most SOL thing they could do is win that game and buy those two morons a little bit more breathing room. And I feel sorry for you guys. Because, hey, man, at least when my team goes in, they try to throw everything at the wall they can. Now, they may fail spectacularly, but holy shit, do they try to throw everything at the wall.
We're going into some hot Buccaneers talk now?
There ain't nothing hot about them.
Well, they're 2-1.
Yeah, a little bit. 2-1 on the way to an 8-8 record, which is what I said before the season started.
Yeah,
I said I'd be happy. I'd be happy with 9-7 in a playoff win. But all this, believe me, been following the Bucs on social media for a lot of years, and boy, this year there was a whole lot of talk leading up to the season, and I'm just sitting there like, y'all motherfuckers don't remember what happened to Joe Montana when he left the 49ers? Well, I mean, I'll take Favre's after fucking Packers career. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let Brady take us to a conference championship. Okay. That means there's only one game that gets played that season that I don't give a fuck about.
That's right.
Because my team's still in it. But you guys are Lions fans. If I said this season the Lions are going to the NFC championship and you knew it to be true,
I'd have a heart attack.
I'd be happy.
No, seriously, I'd have a heart attack.
I'd laugh my balls off when you said it.
And then when they actually got to the NFC Championship, you'd be like, "Oh shit! maybe I should have went to the sports book." But
no, unfortunately, I have to not give up hope. I still have hope, but I am abandoning the Lions. I'm a Chiefs fan because, good God Almighty, goodness, Patrick Mahomes is definitely the second coming of somebody. I can tell you that right now.
If you didn't live in Kansas, I'd accuse you of hurting yourself to jump on that bandwagon.
But yeah,
that is technically your local team.
It is, and the kid is just hot, dude.
Dude, that him and Jackson. He's Brady. Jackson's Manning.
Yep, we said that last week, right, Chris?
Yeah.
That's the new hotness. That's the new one to watch.
That's this new generation's fucking. They're both in the same conference. They're not in the same division, but they're going to see each other quite a bit. Both of them are perennial playoff makers. With these two guys under center, they're gonna play meaningful games. And it just seems like, and I love Jackson. Like, I think he's one of the most exciting quarterbacks to watch.
He's
Patrick
the most
Mahomes is on some other shit.
Jackson is the second coming of Michael Vick, hands down.
To be fair to Mr. Jackson, he doesn't have the receiving core that Mahomes has, though. He doesn't have Travis Kelce. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill, which I told this to Ice, man. Travis Kelce, whenever I watch the Chiefs, there are 21, or there's 22 men total. They're all larger than the average man, and Travis Kelce makes them all look fucking small. That guy's just
Travis
a
Kelce
big
is a monster.
fucking dude.
It's like Chara out there next to Brad Marchand. You're like, what the fuck? How are you even playing the same sport?
You look like Travis Kelce. Everyone looks like they're fucking like 5'6", 150 pounds.
It's like watching. It's like looking at a poster for the Avengers. But where's the Hulk? Oh, you can't tell?
Yeah.
See him towering above everybody else? Where's Kelce?
He's huge.
Photo. You see the guy who's sitting down in the front row and he's taller than the guy standing in the back row? Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Like, that guy is probably going to go down as... That guy's probably going to be the tight end by the time his career is over.
What's that say about the Chiefs, though, man? Because they had Tony Gonzalez, now they got Kelce. They've had pretty good luck with fucking... with tight ends.
Well, dude, they draft well.
Yeah.
Well, dude, their receiving core... First of all, you can't double anybody because even the slot receivers got the speed to smoke you if you don't fucking cover them.
Yeah,
So
you
what-
got Hardman, you got Tariq Hill, even Watson, dude. Sammy Watkins on the outside. They've regenerated his ass.
They got a run game now.
Oh, do they have a run game now? He's not Kareem Hunt. All right, I'm going to say that out front. Kareem Hunt, still a better running back, would have dominated.
He only just won a national championship. So.
Would have dominated. But they do definitely have a running game to accommodate the passing game.
Kareem Hunt's going to be a starting running back before the year is out. I keep saying this on the Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm saying either he's going to be the guy in Cleveland and Cleveland gets rid of Chubb, or some team who needs a running back is going to be like, listen, Cleveland, you have 2 number ones. We're taking one of them.
And I'm telling you, Baltimore is the best spot for that. It's a team he'd go to. It's a team they need him. And it's a trade that makes sense. Put Ingram in Cleveland and bring back Hunt to number 1. It makes sense all around. Baltimore is where I think he lands.
Yeah, because Ingram's a third down back. He's not a bell cow.
Right. Whereas you have Chubb to be a bell cow in Cleveland.
Yep.
It makes sense all around. That's where I would land him. But the only thing I want to say about Patrick Mahomes is, like I said before, that guy is the second coming of somebody. I've never... You know what makes me so jealous of him? He makes it look staggeringly easy to be playing NFL.
Yeah.
If he gets knocked down, whether he gets chased around, whether he's just standing there and he's like 60 yards. All right, here, catch that. Good catch. All right.
Dude,
it just makes it so easy.
Listening to the fucking press who've been around him for the last handful of years and are like, in practice, the fucker's making no-look passes like he's fucking... Magic Johnson. Like, it's like it ain't shit. And it's like, that's impressive enough. Then he goes and does it in a fucking game with all the pressure in an NFL game. I mean,
and
dude.
400 pounds and 300 pounds in your face, yeah.
Who the fuck? Seriously. Before him, when was the last time you remember any quarterback being known for his no-look passes?
Hold on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, that is a quantum leap forward in how he understands and sees the field.
Well, that's why I said he's the second coming to somebody, because I'm almost sure it could be Bill Belichick has possessed Mahomes somehow, because he sees this field in a way that nobody else does.
Like he's
all the
T2.
fucking time. I'm telling you, dude. Like
The cursors
you can see
come down,
behind
the
him.
writing comes up. You know.
Yeah, like you can see behind him to his left. He knows everything. Chemistry. This motherfucker has chemistry that made fucking the weirdest scientists go, what the fuck?
He's like fucking Neo. You can see through the Matrix. Everyone just turns into lines of code.
Real talk. That's it. Patrick Mahomes is the second coming to Neo. Done. Okay, moving on.
Dude, I'm just going to say this. It's a goddamn good thing he did not end up in New England.
In Detroit Lions uniform?
No, in New England. If he'd have ended up a fucking Patriot, we would have to listen to them insufferable cocksuckers out there in Boston for the next 20 fucking years.
Cocksuckers?
Cocksuckers. Yeah.
The wicked motherfuckers.
Yeah, we had Brady, but he was
Mahomes, dude.
He is wicked. He is wicked good, but now we got Mahomes, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, shut up.
You might have to anyway, Rich, because it looks like Belichick has put Cam Newton in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, but Newton's already said this is just a fucking business trip. He hasn't even bought anything in New England. He literally told that, why haven't you bought a house? This is a business trip. Period. He knows he ain't going to be there. They're not going to fucking make him. Dude, how old is he? 32?
Something like that.
He was drafted 1 year after Stafford. Stafford's getting up there in age. If they're going to do something with him, they got to do something with him soon.
Yep.
They're not going to fucking believe me. Belichick already watched Kraft basically force allegedly his idea of Brady's replacement out of New England, which was Jimmy G. And let's be honest, I'm starting to wonder if Jimmy G had stayed in New England, I don't think Newton would ever been there.
That's true too.
And I think
let me ask you this though: he was right by doing so, because if Jimmy G was there, how long would Brady have stayed in? And Brady just won the championship before Mahomes. So
let me tell you something.
Jimmy G's kind of blown up on the launch pad too with being a starter.
Well, hold on. Because let me say this. That's with the 49ers. I'm going to say Belichick is that guy. You take an average to sub-average quarterback, put him under Belichick, he buys into what Belichick's saying. If he does what he's told and he's capable of it, if he's capable of doing what he's told and he has the physical ability to do what is asked of him, he's going to see success. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that Belichick does have the type of eye for talent. And when talent's on the decline, which, to be honest, he saw coming with Brady a couple seasons ago. And now that Brady doesn't have that plate armor of Belichick around him, you're starting to kind of see the cracks in his armor. You know what I'm saying? Even the Mona Lisa's starting to fall apart. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of teams that take him over the quarterback they have, but this ain't the Brady of 5-10 years ago.
I still think he's going to be all right. He's got tons of talent around him.
I'll tell you who's not going to be all right. Unplug your fucking phone in, dipshit. What, you ain't got a charger?
No, I use the headset with my phone, dude.
What the fuck does that have to do with charging your phone?
He's got an iPhone.
I don't know what that means.
I got an Android. It plugs into the bottom. And
oh, never mind.
I can't plug them both in.
All right. Well, anyways, I will say this.
Switch your laptop.
Who is getting up there, and I got the stats to back it up. I know we've said this for years now, but I think Breeze is coming up.
Bye, Drew. I knew it was
final bend.
Whatever. He's about to throw for 500 yards and 6 TDs on Sunday. You know who he's playing?
No.
The Lions.
Here's why. Before this last Sunday, the first 2 games of the season, he attempted 9 passes over 10 yards in 2 games. He completed 5 of them. He doesn't have the aim and the arm that he used to. And that you can't dink and dunk and fucking win a championship because he's not that guy. He's not fucking a game manager. He's used to being out there and being Drew Brees. He ain't Drew Brees anymore, man. Think about that. 9 attempts at over a 10-yard pass. Now we're talking yards after catch. We're talking yards at the catch. 9 attempts, 5 completions, 2 games. How many reps did he take? I mean, dude, that's telling. And that's his boy Peyton calling those plays into him. And Breeze not changing them in the huddle, so he obviously agrees with them.
But I think there's a big asterisk on those 2 games because no Michael Thomas. Like, that's... Trust me, I know the man's getting old. I know I'm aware of how old he is, but, like... And also, I said this to Ice last week, I think you have to put an asterisk on everything in September with the NFL because September's the preseason this year.
Oh, yeah, and we're seeing why you need guys to have the preseason games now. These guys are not fully stretched out, and they're popping hamstrings and ACLs and MCLs left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they ease them into this shit. Football is not like baseball. You don't just pick up a baseball bat and go swinging. There's not football full contact beer leagues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Motherfuckers would be dead. But no, I mean, hey, we've talked about it. Hey, you want to get rid, all right, drop 1 preseason game, maybe 2. Fine, whatever. But it's obvious we do need preseason.
There's no substitute for getting hit.
Yes.
Chris, this has actually been mine and your argument with Drew Brees. I've said the sun was setting, and the sun was setting. I think the sun has now set. I side with Rich. Do me this favor. If the Lions win this week, can we just say it's set?
Michael Thomas is already back at practice. The Lions aren't winning this week.
Okay. Michael Thomas is back in practice. There's no excuse.
With our secondary?
And with our secondary, there's no excuse that the Saints should not win over the Lions.
I'm willing to go on record right now. The Saints are going to house the Lions.
Dude, I feel like I'm talking to Trump. Dude, If the Lions beat the Saints, are you finally willing to come over and say the sun is set on Drew Brees?
Miss the playoffs, and we'll talk. Don't win your division, and I'll be on that.
So just losing against the Lions isn't bad enough? They have to miss the playoffs?
Yeah, because you tried to tell me the sun was setting on LeBron's career 2 seasons ago. He's back in the NBA Finals.
I ain't going back that far. LeBron needs people. Moving on.
Tom Brady still made the playoffs last year. Missed the playoffs, and we'll talk. Go sub 500, and we'll talk.
Yeah, Brady cheats. He uses TB12.
Anyway.
That was sarcasm. Sarcasm?
I know. You're trolling. You're doing some live trolling like Trump. What else in the NFL? What other surprises, good or bad?
Mahomes has got a baby on the way.
I said surprises.
That was kind of a surprise. He's only got a fiance.
You don't think that shit? You don't think that? I think that meme that Rich sent us the day he signed that contract. What was it? It was someone poking a hole in the condom with a pin. It said Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend in that. Yeah, I think that meme was only like half kidding.
Well, the other, there's a new one going around because it's the picture of them holding the ultrasound picture, but instead it said, Patrick Mahomes and his soon-to-be wife show picture of their son, and it's Jackson.
I'll give you something to talk about.
Like, damn, he's your daddy? Really?
You want something to talk about? You said it last week, and now you can confirm what you said last week. Where in the actual fuck is Minnesota? I don't want to hear nothing about preseason. I want to know, where the fuck are they? They're gone. The whole team.
In Buffalo. It looks like Stephon Diggs was a little bit more important to that offense than we thought. I mean, Dalvin Cook's being Dalvin Cook. But, yeah, the rest of that team, the defense, the offense, yikes. And how about you talk NFC North? Looks like Aaron's fixed.
I didn't think he was fucking broke in the first place. I thought that was more of I thought it was more of a personality clash with his former head coach.
I keep forgetting that too. That McCarthy's gone. And
he's down in Dallas.
And didn't we learn in the offseason Rodgers played hurt most of last year? Didn't tell anybody?
Yeah, there's that. And the fact that he's pissed and has not been quiet about it around the locker room, around the facilities, about Green Bay drafting essentially his replacement, like they did with him to Favre. And he's like, apparently, when this is one of those like alleged comments, but he was like, I ain't Favre. And it's like, well, keep playing like you are. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if he keeps playing like old Aaron Rodgers, they'll keep him on the sidelines. But just understand, your leash gets smaller with every fucking game. It gets shorter, and they will pull you before they tank a fucking season. I truly believe that. Well, because Green Bay's proven it with Favre. Go to Green Bay, it's almost like Favre who. And he was God in Green Bay for how many years?
He was the man. For the 90s, he was the man.
90s and most of the 2000s. I mean, Jesus Christ. What was it? Something about Mary come out in like 98?
Yeah.
That was the height of Favre mania.
Right after he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He could have walked into any bar in Green Bay in the 90s and be like, I'm fucking you, I'm fucking you, and I'm fucking you.
And probably did.
And then go to the next bar and do the same thing.
And he sent pictures to prove it. All right. If you want to talk about a short leash.
Even if they were married, be like, my husband said it's all right because you're Brett Favre.
Where the hell is Carson Wentz and the Eagles?
Oh, oof.
2-1.
Oof.
Dude, you got the same record as the Bengals, and you fucking tied them.
That's a team where it's getting, what's the saying? It's getting late early in Philly. They got their best players are Miles Sanders and Zach Ertz.
This is what I'll say. My friend Eric from Philly, after last night's debate, he was like, I just want to let it be said or let it be known that I've been saying as an Eagles fan, bad things happen in Philadelphia for 45 years. Just letting you know, I've been saying it for that long as an Eagles fan. And I'm like, yeah, you enjoy that Super Bowl you had. At least you get to see one.
Yeah.
Because it don't look like you're going to win another one anytime here soon. So, yeah,
yeah, it's... Their receiving core. What receiving core? They're down to fucking Greg Ward. Who the fuck is Greg Ward? And if I'm a Philly fan, it's time to declare the Carson Wentz experiment over. He's never been as good as he's supposed to be. He's injury prone, and let's face it, Nick Foles won you that Super Bowl.
I was going to say the Carson Wentz experiment was over when Nick Foles won the fucking Super Bowl.
They got Jalen Hurts on that team. I bet you Jalen Hurts is starting by midseason.
All I know is that Philly fans live up to and lean into the stereotype and that they carry with them, and they are not known for their patience. So I imagine it can get ugly, like quickly.
It's gonna be a beating.
I mean, dude, if they do open up and they start letting fans in, and Philly just fucking goes right down the tubes this year, we could have another throw rocks at Santa incident, except for him to throw rocks at the head coach.
It's not the people who threw batteries at Santa Claus.
So, I mean, like, I'm just saying, man. Is what it is. All right, so here's my theory. I know I'm doubling back a little bit, but I am going to cover the Cowboys a little bit because I think this is honestly what I think is probably going to happen. I think the beginning of next season, Stafford's going to be on the Cowboys. I think Jerry Jones wants to bring him home.
That's a hot
take. As long as the Lions will cover some of his fucking contract, I think Jones will be more than happy to eat it up. And we know how Jerry is about those Texas guys. Remember, Roy Williams? I mean, he gave the Lions a fucking an ass load of picks that they turned into shit like they always do for Roy Williams. And it's like, who the fuck is Roy Williams? Oh, you mean the guy who celebrates getting a first down when they're fucking 3 touchdowns behind? That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was worth 5 draft picks. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I think that's
They're going to give up Dak for Stafford? Dak is good. Dak's going to be – he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. He's going to be one of the best at the end of the season.
I don't think McCarthy or Jones are sold on him. That's just –
On who?
On Prescott. If Jones was sold on him, he'd have a contract extension by now.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That's what leads me to this thinking this. And 2, I know how Jerry Jones is about bringing those Texas boys home.
Oh, wait. I think does Uncle Jerry need a white QB? Is that what's going on here? Think about it. He's like the first black QB in Dallas in our lifetime, at least mine. Because from what I can remember, Troy Aikman, some other white guy, Tony Romo.
Garrett, dude. The coach.
Garrett. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Bledsoe. He was their quarterback for a few seasons after he left New England. Yeah, under Parcells when Parcells was out there.
So is QB a white man's game to Uncle Jerry? Is that what we're having here?
I personally, I think he probably cares more about winning than race, but maybe. Who knows, man? Remember when all this shit with the kneeling broke out? He said, okay, he went out there and they joined arms and they took a knee and he was like, okay, that's enough of that. No more kneeling.
Looking like Riverdance.
Yeah. I mean, he was like, we'll do it one time. You said you had your say. You're done now. Now you're in Jerry world on Jerry's time, and you don't kneel on Jerry's time. Now, I mean, whatever came of it, it's pretty. I think it's pretty clear the culture in Dallas is as long as you perform, you can pretty much get away with murder, almost literally. So, I mean, that's because look at the history they've had. Well, look at the history they've had since Jones has owned the team. I mean, Michael Irvin, he showed up with all his hurricane bullshit in tow. Who's homeboy who fucking got busted moving like 200 pounds of weed? One got accused of rape. This is all in the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, didn't he bring Greg Hardy to the team?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I said. Greg Hardy looking at you.
Yeah, so I mean, I put Stafford on a team like Dallas. Does Stafford have success that he never had in Detroit?
No. Old and busted. I think we said this last season. You ever heard anyone have back surgery and hear about their backs get better?
Not a professional athlete.
Yeah.
No. But yes, Stafford has success that he never had in Detroit because Stafford has a line and a run game and a better defense.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I think it'd be very much be like a Sue situation with him. The people around him would be more than happy to get out of Detroit because I don't think Kelly Stafford likes it up here, and I don't care how laid back Matthew Stafford is. And if you watch his any interviews with him, he's one of those oh shucks, oh gee, easygoing type guys. So she probably runs that fucking relationship, and she'd probably be like, "We got a chance to go to Dallas? Oh, you definitely waiving your no trade clause." We're going to Dallas.
I think so because he's good friends with Matt Ryan, and he's good friends with the Dodgers pitcher. What's his name?
Kershaw.
Yeah, Sammy Kershaw.
They grew up together in Dallas.
Right, and everybody wants to stay in that one place their whole career.
Well, hey, you bring up
Kershaw in L.A., Matt Ryan over in L.A. or in Atlanta.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter. If you look around, you'll see the world can be pretty smart. Okay, very smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. That's why we're reshaping online learning with our FlexPath format. You can set your own deadlines, take classes at your own pace, even leverage your previous experience to move faster. So when it comes to earning your bachelor's degree, you know what kind of choice to make. A smart one. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter. Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Brought it up.
Matt Stafford already has the extension in Detroit.
Maybe he replaces Matt Ryan in Atlanta, because what the fuck is going on there?
Oh, that would suck.
Dan Quinn has to win a game. He has to. I think
the only team who's blown more fucking fourth quarter leads than the Lions in the last handful of years is the Falcons.
I mean, you are rarely talking about it's a must-win game in Week 4. It's a must-win game for Dan Quinn, especially the way he's lost the last two. Like, bro, you got to finish.
Yeah, what's the old saying? NFL stands for not for long if you coach like that.
Yeah. You have one of the most you had one of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL. Matt Ryan is not a pile of shit quarterback, all right? Julio is Julio. Just you're going to get limited success out of Julio. I think we've all learned that. But Matt's made stars out of no-name backups. He's got Todd Gurley as his running back this year. I mean, face it, on paper, Atlanta should be 3-0.
On paper, Atlanta should have a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is going back all those years to that's when they started this fucking streak of coughing it up in the fourth fucking quarter.
They had Dallas beat. They had whoever the fuck they played this past week beat.
Yeah, that's just if you're a Falcons fan, sorry, I don't even know what to say. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's all I got for you, bud. Sometimes it sucks to be you.
And let's run down there. Kind of run through the rest of the league real quick before we do the picks. City of New York just give up on football this year.
They should.
Giants, Jets.
Just uncover it and collect your free money.
Both flaming piles of shit. Denver's going to join you.
Right.
Not sure what the Chargers are going to do yet. For some reason, I just never buy Tennessee. I don't know why. Like, Tennessee's got to prove it to me.
Because they don't like Tannehill.
Just before Tannehill. Bills we might have another team coming out of the AFC East this year that's not the Patriots. Might be the Bills.
We definitely have a team. Because what the fuck? And where did they come from? They got rid of fucking their black quarterback and all of a sudden, voila!
Yeah, they got Josh Allen. They got Stephon Diggs. They got this new kid at running back, Zach Moss. To be honest, we've been talking about Buffalo's defense for like the entirety of this show. So they've had a defense. So, the NFC East looks like it's the Cowboys to lose. We don't expect anything of the Ravens or the Browns. What about the Steelers? I'm sorry, the Browns or the Bengals?
What about the Steelers?
I expect some shit out the Ravens.
Yeah, I meant the Bengals and the Browns. I was looking at the Ravens when I said.
Bengals, Browns. It's like the meme I sent you guys. Bengals, Browns, Detroit. That's the Bermuda Triangle of football suck. That's all I expect them to do is just suck between those three cities. I mean, Cleveland is what I'm afraid Tampa will turn into. Got all these weapons and you can't do a goddamn thing with them. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but the difference between Tampa's receivers and Cleveland's receivers is Tampa's receivers have results. I've been saying this on the Fantasy Football Podcast. I'll say it here. Odell Beckham has made a career out of that one-handed catch from 5 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
After that, it's been all downhill since.
Dude, it's funny. I popped in the Madden that came out the year after he made that catch, and he was on the cover. And the whole his highlight reel is that catch 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
At the beginning when you boot up the game. That's it. I'm like, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah, ever since he kicked the field goal net and it kicked him back, he's been fucked up. It's the field goal net's fault.
Yeah.
It's got a concussion.
I think there's more to it there. There's guys who are eccentric who play the game, and I'm fine with it. Chad Johnson being one of them. But Chad Johnson could back it up. Like, Odell just seems like he's got a Kanye West vibe. Like, bro, you're not as good as you think you are.
No.
Like, you think you're like one of the greatest ever. You're not even in the conversation. So, yeah, don't know what to tell you, bud. You're not even in the top 10 right now. So,
The problem I have with Odell Beckham is you're with a Heisman winning quarterback. You're with the person you played your entire college career with, your partner in crime, if you will, and now part of your NFL career. You're as comfortable as you're ever going to be on an NFL field. If there's any time to make another spectacular catch or make an impact of any sort, it would be right now, right there.
No, I mean, it's kind of what I mean. NFL's littered with guys like this. They did that one spectacular. They had that one spectacular play, and then where'd they go?
Yeah,
where's David Tyree?
Right, he's polishing his ring.
I mean, granted, it was on the biggest stage possible for his sport, in one of the most clutch situations. But still, it's like, where'd he go?
Yeah, how's Malcolm? What's his nuts? Malcolm Butler. How's he doing?
I mean, I just think back to Cadillac Williams' first 6 games, and he put up more yards in his first 6 games as a running back than anyone else in the history of the NFL. And they were talking like, oh, shit, this is the second coming right here. And I was like, why'd you have to say that?
Yeah. Now he's going to suck.
Yeah, and he did. I was like, ugh. See, this is why I don't talk shit. I don't talk shit.
Wait, moving on to division rival Steelers. I expect middle of the road. Just they don't.
I don't even expect middle of the road. They fall off the shoulder.
Yeah, Eric Ebron's their tight end. Just nobody on that team excites me. Not even their starters. Big Ben. I mean, he's been playing respectable ball. It's time to go.
I think.
I'd go out while you can be respected.
I think Steelers are going to do what Steelers do, man. We do this every year.
Right.
And then, I mean, dude, after this week, we're a quarter way through the season.
Yeah.
And it's about the same time we always start ringing that same bell for the Steelers. Well, it's good while it lasted, guys. And then the last half of the season, we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Really? So you're going to have to forgive me. I'm not planning that funeral until I see the fucking toe tag on the body.
Wait, speaking of what the fuck, let's move to the NFC North. Chicago Bears? Seriously? How is that team? Offensively, that team is a shit pile.
Nick Foles for the win.
Yeah, Big Dick Nick. He's like herpes. He just shows up.
Offensively, defensively, that team ain't all that fucking great at the moment. Dude, you let the Falcons hang 26 on you?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be the monsters of the Midway? Oh, okay.
And you're supposed to be the best linebacker in the NFL. Where are you at?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, we'll see. It's still early. I will say this. I will say this. I am shocked at the start the Raiders had. I didn't expect them to win against the Patriots, but Carr's yet to throw an interception. One of, 4 guys? Holmes, Jackson, Carr, and Rodgers, the only 4 that haven't thrown an interception so far this year.
Launch into it, Ice. You know you're waiting to.
About what?
The Raiders.
Oh, okay.
He thinks they were playing possum the last 2 years in Oakland.
I do. He threw everybody out but Carr. And Rich has said time and again that Gruden is the quarterback whisperer. He collects quarterbacks. So, of course, Carr wasn't going anywhere. But you got rid of your starter with Cooper. You got rid of, and at the time, not even arguably, he was the best linebacker in MAC.
Well,
you cleaned house and set fire to the house as you were leaving. Now all of a sudden you got your new stadium, your new place, your new things, your new people. Sorry, not sorry, man. I think things are going to happen in Las Vegas.
Look, I'm just saying. All right, they now have in Jacobs looks to be solid running back to complement Carr. When's the last time the Raiders had a running back anybody gave a fuck about?
Marshawn Lynch. Oh, that's right.
No. Not the ghost of Marshawn Lynch. They came in for a few seasons and ate some Skittles. I'm talking about, like, seriously, like, oh shit, that Raiders running game. Oh fuck.
Marcus Allen.
Bo Jackson.
Oh, that's right.
I said Bo.
Yeah, like Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen. We're going back 70s and 80s, though. You know, I mean, laying back in the buckwheat, I don't know. If they did, you'll never know it. Not till fucking a lot of people are dead, and one of them's going to be Gruden, because I don't think Gruden would ever want that getting out. He prides himself on being a taskmaster, and he really likes that reputation. If it got out that he basically told his guys to fucking play soft for 2 seasons till they got to Vegas, that would be the end of a lot of people's respect for Gruden.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, it wasn't. They didn't have to play soft. He got rid of everybody that could play up to any kind of good level. He didn't have to say, take it easy and just relax. He didn't have to say any of that. He had to coach with what he had left.
Except for the fact that they drafted Jacobs, and Jacobs fucking played well last season. That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah, but now you're talking a position that Barry Sanders was in his whole career. One person you can't do anything with.
Leaving out Waller the baller?
When's the last time? Seriously, guys, when's the last time a running back won a team a championship? And I'm not saying this trying to be a smartass. I'm asking genuinely.
Zeke at Ohio State?
Emmitt Smith?
I mean, who was Smith? One of them 49ers, not 49ers, Washington teams that had the Hogs. They had a running back duo, but that's the 80s, man. Like, running backs just aren't valued like that. Not anymore.
Yeah.
And he come in and, I mean, he's a first-round selection. I think he was like in the mid-20s or something. I mean, dude, quietly one of the top 5 running backs in the fucking league at the moment.
Yep.
I'm saying, and this is all I'm going to say about it. Gruden saw the writing on the wall in Oakland, saw that it wasn't there, didn't have to appease the fans, was okay to lose a season or 2. So he started making moves early and quick and with a fucking very sharp knife. Cutting away Cooper, cutting away Mack, cutting away just anybody, Crabtree, anybody that had any value that he could get from him, he cut for those first couple of years. Hey, man, Crabtree was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You could say what you want.
Fucking years ago.
Right. So anything that had any value whatsoever that he could squeeze out of it, even of a big toe, Gruden got rid of it, did what he did in the first couple of seasons, and moved him to L.A. with an entirely new roster. And now they're kicking ass and taking names.
Like tinfoil man.
And people are stepping up and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
All right. Well, while we're
and keep a reputation.
While we're in the AFC West, I gotta say, I saw it again for the second week in the row, even though they lost. Justin Herbert has a big old pair of nuts on him, and that kid's going to be good in the NFL.
He better learn how to slide. That's all I'm saying.
I was impressed his first game where he was fourth quarter drive, Super Bowl champs, backed up in his own fucking, in his own end zone, ice water in the kid's veins. He didn't look scared. He drove his team down the field, and he did it again, even though they came away with the field goal and they lost. But I think the Chargers got themselves a QB.
Yeah, but he needs to learn how to slide because he keeps up hitting and starting linebackers. He's not going to be there long.
Moving to stay out west. Arizona's not surprising me. They surprised me by losing to the Lions. But, I mean, we talked about that trade. We all scratched our heads at that trade like, huh? Like, Texas lost that trade. But, I mean, David Johnson's proven to be serviceable, but Arizona's exactly who I thought they were going to be. I mean, I know we're only 4 weeks in and they've lost to the Lions, but D-Hop's D-Hop, man. That guy's he's going to finish the season as one of the top 5 receivers in the league, maybe top 3.
Yeah, Arizona doesn't not at all surprise me. And it doesn't surprise me, actually, that they lost to the Lions. Matt Stafford did what he does. Tremendous fourth quarter comeback. Woohoo.
I think that division's going to be the Cardinals and the Seahawks fighting it out. San Francisco's going to be
hands down.
Big old pile of nothing. And I think the Rams are going to be a 500 team this year.
I got to ask, if you're San Francisco, no, time out. Back that up. If you're John Lynch and you're sitting in that fucking front office in San Francisco, are you thinking like, what in the fuck just happened? Weren't we just in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like, this is where you earn your money. You got to turn this ship around, one way or the other.
Well, I don't think it's time for a new coach or GM.
They need a receiving core. Emmanuel Sanders is gone. They need the running back. Matt Breeder's gone. He's warming the bench in Miami, but in San Francisco, he was good for what they needed him for. Like, quite honestly, they just need to start from scratch in their offense. You need a QB, you need a receiver, you need a running back. Jimmy G, the man's showing durability issues.
Huh?
Jimmy G, he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, and I'm with you, just like when you brought up about Barkley. Once you start seeing these not so big injuries that knock them out for a week or two, though, add up, and then the big one comes, you're like, yeah, that's injury prone. That's the definition of injury prone.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you got a nagging here or there. All right, everyone plays in pain. Ask any NFL player, current, former, doesn't matter. They'll tell you, everyone plays in pain. But, like, you're out for a week here, 2 weeks there, then you blow out your fucking knee. Yeah, that's looking like he's going to be fucking. I don't think he's going to be re-signing with the Giants. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially
in today's NHL, NFL climate of why would we fucking waste a draft pick in the first round on a running back when we can get a perfectly serviceable one in the third or fourth round?
That's 3 years on their rookie contract or 4?
I think 4.
Yeah, this is his 3rd season, so...
Yeah, and he's coming back from, was it MCL surgery? That's what he tore, his MCL, ACL?
Something that kept him out. No, last year, what kept him out for half the season was a high ankle sprain. Like, he was out for, like, a good portion of the season for a fucking high ankle sprain.
No, I'm talking about this season. Isn't he out for the rest of the season?
Oh, yeah, this season he's done. I think it's an ACL.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
So, I mean, that's... Yeah, You better come back hard, come back strong, and
gonna ball out next year, buddy.
Because if not, yeah, you're looking at probably I won't say that training camp, or not training camp, but I'll say training camp will start. He might not be on a team, but I think he'll be on a team before the first fucking preseason game next season.
Yeah,
because someone will give him a chance. Because he is, when he's on, he's good. But if you're injury prone, there's nothing you can do with that, man.
Well,
you can't work that away through training and conditioning. You can just try to prevent it. That's it.
Well, as JR likes to say on the Fantasy Football Podcast, though, he's been playing behind that Giants line that anybody would get injured all the time. They're playing behind now. So, but still, it's a shame because he looks so good in college. Right, let's head south before we do the picks. Now, I know Ice, some of these cities might be on the east. They might be a little bit north, but they are in the South divisions.
What are we playing basketball already?
The AFC South. I mean, it's going to be the Titans, right? Do you see the Texans, Colts, or Jaguars this year coming out of that division?
Everybody except the Jaguars. I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless Antonio Brown shows up in Houston, which there are rumors they are kicking the tires on him. You just spent all that money on Deshaun Watson to have a 500 team because you got no one for him to throw the ball to.
I don't. Whoever comes, I don't see whoever comes out of that fucking division doing much of anything. Period.
Yeah,
it's a pretty fucking weak division.
It's playoff fodder division.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about that. So
yeah. Although, see the Colts whoop up on the Jets so much, Jacoby Brissett went. Hey, old man Rivers, have a seat. We're putting in the black guy. We're up 30 points.
Well, I mean, dude, fucking. I'm kind of shocked they got him out of the game. And the reason I say that is because he's not a Matthew. As much as I say Matthew Stafford's the laid back, go with the flow, which way the wind's blowing, I'm going to move that way. That is not him. He is not that guy. He is very much fired up, pissed off on the sidelines, yelling at his fucking teammates and shit. So I guess it depends. Will the Colts accept him as a leader?
He's getting older. He's got like 9 kids. He's tired. I think he really does have 9 kids. Like I saw some one-off article.
No, he does.
He's got he is either very Catholic or hates condoms or both. Philip Rivers does.
Off-season project is.
He does not understand pulling out. And then the NFC South. I mean, it's going to be between New Orleans and Tampa Bay, right?
No, it's Tampa Bay. Breeze is done.
I can't. Like I said, I can't plan the funeral until I see the toe tag on the body. And even though I have this gut feeling about Breeze, that maybe that deep ball with authority, for whatever reason, he obviously doesn't trust it. Or else he'd have made more than 9 attempts in 2 games. So maybe he gets healthy. Maybe because let's be honest, if you can air it out against any team, well, he is playing the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, all they got is. I say give a good Drew Brees, just decent Drew Brees. Still doesn't matter. Tampa Bay's made enough moves and enough racket. They're pushing this year. They're going. Sorry about your luck, New Orleans.
I'm not going to argue with you. There's some talent on that team. From TB12 to his receiver core to, let's be honest, you got the ghost of Gronk at tight end.
Yeah, who would have thought that's the acquisition that looks to be the worst?
Well, he's played football for 2 fucking years.
Yeah, but he's a fucking specimen, dude. You figured he'd at least still know how to fucking just go up and over.
Yeah, you talk about him making Kelsey making people look small. So does Gronk.
Yeah, but just got to remember too. Towards the end of his run, I mean, he was injured a lot. He could just be playing scared, right? Maybe he's not going to hit too hard because he doesn't want to get hurt. Maybe there's a lot of incentives in that contract. Who knows?
I don't know. He needs to be a red zone threat. Period.
Yeah.
You need to block, and you need to run block, and you need to be a red zone threat. And if you can't bring that to the table. If Tampa is truly in a win this season, win now, because I think Brady signed for 2 years, but that don't mean shit. I kind of think if he wins this year, he might go out on top, but that's just me. But I could see him trying to bring in another tight end. I don't know who they could get.
Was it maybe Gronk's there to make O.J. Howard finally look viable?
Where's E-Brown? What team's he on?
Who?
Philly?
Who? O.J. Howard?
No, E-Brown.
Pittsburgh.
Well, he ain't going nowhere.
No.
If he was on Philly, yeah, they might actually have a chance to get someone like Ebron.
Look, they have too much, man. Fournette, Mike Evans. I'm done. A very confident chip on the shoulder, something to prove. Tom Brady, I'm putting up against Drew Brees. Nah, sorry about your luck there.
All right. Well, hey, I'm with you. I said to me, Tampa Bay should come out of that division. They should.
Should, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that one. Absolutely, they should. Absolutely.
Well, the record's also showing it. Tampa Bay's 2-1, and what's New Orleans?
1-2.
Oh, okie dokie then.
Wow, they're one game off. They should just quit.
Until the course changes.
There's one thing you can always count on, or a handful of things you can always count on from Earl. Just hey, we're 3 games into 16 games. It's over.
Yeah,
it's done. Put a fork in them. No point in even playing. Might as well just quit.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, there's never a conspiracy theory. You're like a dog that can't pass a fire hydrant. You gotta fucking lift your leg on every conspiracy theory and get that nose full of conspiracy theory piss.
How long have you known me, dude? My leg's always in the air. My leg's in the air for a fucking fire hydrant. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, and you've always believed in dumb shit too. So I mean, what the fuck do you expect me to do?
Well, that's what I do.
I've introduced you to people and you've talked to them, and after you've talked, they're like, "Is he serious?" And I'm like, "You get used to
it." Serious, like a fucking heart attack. All right, so I guess it's time to do some picks, huh?
Well, considering I've missed 2 weeks of picks, this is where I'm bowing out.
Well, we didn't do picks. We didn't do picks last. We didn't do them last week. So
and did you even get my picks on week 1?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, hurry up.
No, we'll just
I want a fucking cigarette.
All right. We just do it by percentage, so that way everyone's on an even footing. I don't have the numbers right now. I'll crunch them for next week. So
I'm winning.
We'll let you think that for this week because Rich wants a cigarette. Don't have time for all that. So let's start with the Thursday night game. This is going to be an awful fucking game. Denver at the Jets.
If a Thursday night game was the 2020 first debate, it would be this game.
Yeah, this 2 horrible offenses playing each other. No. I vote no on this game.
That's your pick? No.
Yeah.
Jets. I'm going Jets. Broncos is not even a shit show. They can't even take a shit. They don't have anywhere to shit. Jets.
Yeah, give me the Jets.
I'll take Denver. They got Brett Rippon. They got Melvin Gordon. Yeah, sure. I'll be the guy, and I'll take Denver. Ice, please turn down your headphones. I can hear them. All right. Sunday slate. Indianapolis at Chicago.
It's actually going to be a good game. It's going to be what the fuck Chicago against the rebuilding Indy. I'm going to go with what the fuck Chicago.
Yeah, give me Chicago.
Do I have to? You know what? Give me Indy. Why the fuck not? Keep it interesting. Next up, Jacksonville at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Jacksonville.
I am going to take Jacksonville. Enjoy your island on this one, Ice. Next game, New Orleans at Detroit. I know who I'm picking. Give me the Saints.
I'm going to pick the Lions and say that the sun is finally done, set, and went down.
I wish I could, but it's the Lions and it's Drew Brees. And the Lions got to fucking rise up out the grave, and Drew Brees has to crawl in it before I'm going to fucking declare anyone alive or dead. And I think it's going to be a repeat of the 2012 playoff game they played. I don't think the Saints are going to punt once.
I remember how pumped me and all my friends were, because I think I was still, what year is it, 2012? Yeah, I was still in my early 30s. I was still a little bit optimistic. And I meant by the first quarter, we were the mood in my apartment was just like, ooh.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to the second quarter before it was just like somebody fucking died. So
that was horrible.
Yeah. Should I just write in Seattle for this next game? The Seahawks at Miami? Anyone?
Seahawks for me.
Yeah.
Seahawks for me.
Same here. Chargers heading to Tampa Bay. Yeah, give me. Justin Herbert ain't scared, but he also ain't playing that. He's playing the Tampa Bay defense, who looks pretty good this year. Give me Tampa Bay.
I'll take Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks.
All right. How about? It's here comes the butt fuck of the week again. the Ravens at the Washington football team.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ravens.
Type in Baltimore for everybody here, and we move on to Arizona at Carolina.
Arizona.
Yes. Sometimes the games just pick themselves. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, Arizona. What the fuck? What is Carolina? What did they have? McCaffrey, and he's injured later.
Yeah, well,
sorry about your season.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Carolina gave up before the season began. They have Teddy Bridgewater as their quarterback. Like, did you think CMC was just going to carry you the entire way? But anyway, Minnesota at Houston. Both of these teams need a win badly. You know what? And I'm taking the team that's actually got a receiver. Give me the Vikings.
Vikings? Question mark?
Yeah, I'm feeling the Vikes too.
All right, so we all take the Vikings. Earl didn't feel good about it. The Giants at the Rams. I mean, just type in LAR for all of us here.
Sometimes they just pick themselves, Chris.
Yeah, this is one of those ones. As soon as I finished, I'm like, yep. This could be a good one. Pats heading to Arrowhead, where 25% fan capacity is allowed, playing the Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah, Cam, you better wear the most outrageous shit you can, because it's the only way that they're going to be talking about you after the game.
Taking the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. Give me the Chiefs. This is the dark horse of the week that's probably going to be one of the best games of the week. Buffalo heading to Vegas, taking on the Raiders. Well, first of all, you can give me Buffalo. Josh Allen's playing out of his fucking mind.
Go ahead.
Well, if Raiders are at home, right?
Yeah.
If the Bills were at home, I would go with the Bills. They're not. I got to go with the home team because that's about the only way this is going to settle it. It's colder in Buffalo right now. It's warmer in Vegas. Give me the Raiders.
It's way warmer in Vegas by quite a bit. Yes. Yeah, give me the Raiders. By the way, it's still so fucking weird to see the Raiders in Las Vegas.
It's weird to see. I'm still trying to get over a hockey team in Vegas. It's just weird to see a sports team in Vegas.
See, the Golden Knights came in and just swung a big old dick in everyone's face for that first season they played. So it was like, you know what? It's like that, boom, I walk into the bedroom. That's, you know what I'm saying? Swing, batter, swing, whatever the fuck it is. K-Swiss or whatever the fuck it is.
K7. K7. Come.
But yeah, so that's the reason I can accept them. The Raiders, I don't know. They're LA or Oakland. Vegas is going to take a while to get used to.
All right, this piece of shit's going to be the Sunday night game. The Eagles at the San Francisco 49ers. Ugh.
It's been a good game last year.
Yeah.
Did we pick the Steelers-Titans game?
You can get slow your roll.
You said Sunday night.
Slow your fucking roll and pick a team.
Why am I staring at the top of your fucking Shrek head? One of your batteries dead. Fucking turn the camera off. No one wants to see that shit.
Give me the Eagles because their backfield's at least healthy.
Oh, God, no. This is the 49ers' dream. A limping Eagles team? No, 49ers.
I got to go with Earl on this one. I'm thinking 49ers.
All right. And then the Monday night game, Atlanta at Green Bay. Another team that needs a fucking win.
Sometimes they pick themselves. Green Bay.
Yeah, you're going to Mr. Rogers' house. No, you ain't winning this one. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep, Packers.
And then what's looking like maybe an additional Monday night game or a Tuesday night game, Pittsburgh at Tennessee. Real easy for me. You can give me Tennessee.
Yeah, I was going Tennessee too.
Fuck it. Give me the Steelers. I'm just like, it's we did it. We did our annual shit talk of the Steelers. Now it's time for them to turn it around. So
right, yeah. They'll hang up 40-0 on the Titans.
Hey, Chris, did we pick Browns and Cowboys?
No, that doesn't sound familiar. No, we did not. No, we skipped right over it. So, yeah. 1 o'clock slate. Cleveland at Dallas. I'm taking Dallas.
I'm picking Dallas.
Yep.
All right. So cool. Unanimous pick to end the show. Rich wants cigarette. I want my dinner. I'm sure you do too, Ice. So I'm just going to tell you we're at Sporgy Podcast on Twitter. Sporgy Podcast at Sporgy. I always fuck up our own email address. Sporgy at ChristopherMedia.net if you want to email us. We are on Facebook as well. Go to ChristopherMedia.net where if you want to help us out, there is a PayPal banner. There is an Amazon banner. You click through those. One of you, it doesn't cost any money to help us out. One of us, it does. But, hey, if you feel the need, knock yourself out. And then we're in the Bezos ecosystem now. We're all going to be Jeff Bezos' bitch one day, but Amazon Music is in the podcast game. You can find us there. Also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker.com, the iHeartRadio app, Stitcher, ChristopherMedia.net, anywhere you can listen to a podcast. That is where you find us. It's good to be back, and we'll see you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World.
The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World.
Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Look in your home. Look in your office. Look in your home office. Everywhere you turn, there's so much smart. At Capella University, we think education should be smart too. Our game-changing FlexPath format puts you in control of your master's degree, so you can learn how, when, and where you want. Smart, huh? Yeah, we think so too. So if you want to take the next step in your career, make Capella your first step. Visit capella.edu to learn more. Capella University. Don't just learn smarter.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.